Hello, welcome to TPK Roleplay. I'm your GM, Fazul, and welcome to session 2 of our Altered Carbon campaign. Very excited about this. The Altered Carbon's RPG. It is produced by Renegade Game Studios and Hunter Entertainment. So we'll be using their rule set, which is available, I believe, on Drive-Thru RPG. Looks like we already have a pink backpack. For those of you who do not know what a pink backpack is, this is the pink backpack, and essentially what happens is for it's 1,000 bits or $10. If we will draw something from the pink backpack, these are not random, but they are very consequential. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek here. Tonight, in the pink backpack is Mr. Whiskers. Now, I bet you out there in chat are wondering, what the hell does Mr. Whiskers have to do with an Altered Carbon campaign? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to draw Mr. Whiskers out of the pink backpack. This is a fairly significant encounter, believe it or not. So most of the pink backpack items will actually progress the main story, so it could impact the main story, or it could impact the individual character stories. And just to give you guys, in case you didn't watch last week, in my GM notes, I had characters arrive at the fight drome, sneak in, steal device, and leave, with maybe getting into a tussle with some of Carnage's goons. But the pink backpack was drawn, and that whole scene completely changed, completely unexpected, in an unexpected way, thanks to Luke in there. So anyway, that's all about the pink backpack. Just a couple of warnings. This is, this is Altered Carbon. It's gritty, violent. There's adult themes, strong language. So if any of that bothers you, just a heads up. And the players already kind of, everybody who's in the game, knows what's involved. But as a general guide, if you're okay with the TV show, you'll be okay. You'll be okay with this broadcast. All right, I think that's it for me. Let's jump into it by doing some character introductions. I guess we'll go through in overlay order, starting with Bright.
Hello, I'm Bright Dystopia, and today I'll be playing Repo Kairos.
Hi, I'm Luke Locke, and today I am playing Fade, short for Phaedra, as Mara.
Hi, I'm Osiris Franco, and I play Morrigan.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tyrant, and I will be playing Saren Pierce.
All right, and while those introductions were taking place, we've got two pink backpacks. So we're not actually going to do the regular adventure tonight. I think it's just going to be pink backpacks the whole time. But all right, so I'm going to draw those, and then we will jump in. So just so chat knows, I put a certain number of pink backpack items in for every character, and Kai did not get one last week. So I left the ones from last week in. I'm going to reach in. I'm going to draw, so the odds of him getting one are going to be very, very high. Okay, and now I'm going to repopulate the pink backpack. Oh, I almost forgot consequences. There are a couple, so in addition to just kind of random encounters, one of the things I've added to the pink backpack is consequences, which basically are anything that happens in the last session. If I think there could be a consequence for it, I'm going to put that into the backpack. All right, I'm going to just check to see what we got here. Oh, very interesting. And okay, very good. So pink backpack items do not happen immediately. They happen when they could coincide with an event in the story, but essentially it's wherever they fit. I will throw it in, and I'll throw them in as soon as possible. So when last we left, I believe what had happened is that you had stolen the device from the fight drome, from Carnage. This device essentially determined the value of a sleeve, and then identified whether the anonymous whether an anonymous buyer was interested in purchasing the sleeve or not. You tested it on Phaedra, I believe 100,000 credits were offered and accepted, but then you pulled a swap, and you got poor Calypso Cali involved from Sculpt, and she, under threat of, I forget what your exact threat was, Kai, but, but it was a pretty stern one. She stole Miriam Bancroft's sleeve and gave it to you, and that is what these guys took away. That's these guys, the courier.
I believe I threatened to carve out her stack personally if she didn't bring us a sleeve.
That's right. So basically, so this courier shows up in this kind of menacing looking vehicle, loads up the sleeve and disappears. But you have a tracker on board. So that is where we will pick up. The tracker is coming in strong, and I believe I mentioned it was headed towards the industrial sector of Bay City. So what's your plan now that you have this sleeve? I believe Callisto Cali. I believe she passed out on Phaedra's sofa, if I remember.
I think so.
Dress at
Who currently is in possession of the tracker? Do we know?
I think that's Pierce. Are you doing the tracking? I believe.
The one that
Yes.
you-
Yeah. Yes, I'm keeping
Wait,
track of it.
which tracker? The one that we put in the
Miriam.
sleeve switch, and did we remove the one from Fade?
It was the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, technically,
They should be.
they are different, but we did have to put the subdermal implant that we put in Fade into Miriam, but then I activated the tracking device on her Oni as well.
Perfect. That's. I just want to make sure Faye didn't have that weird thing on her still.
No, she should be fine now.
Okay.
We could tail them now, but essentially when they stop moving, that's where they're going to be. It's not like we're trying to get there immediately to save Fade's sleeve. So unless
No.
we want to save Miriam Bank, we should probably go now.
We should absolutely go now. This thing's being sold left and right, and I can't confidently say how long it will be here. There's no way that sleeve is being bought for storage purposes. That's going directly into someone's hands, and we need to get it first.
Well, I'm afraid it might be more insidious than that.
do you
It is possible that they're using these sleeves for spare parts.
Oh, I didn't even consider that. Son of a bitch.
If they're highly interested in the modified sleeves, then perhaps they're just taking the modifications. In any case, we should go before Miriam is destroyed.
Time out though. And Morgan's gonna move over to where the assistant has passed out on the couch and shake her kind of awake, like, hey.
But she goes, "Oh, is it over?"
No, unfortunately. Listen, what is so special about that sleeve?
Miriam, you don't know who Miriam Bancroft?
No, not Miriam's, the one we're tracking down. What's in it that people know about clearly that makes it so valuable?
It's
That's
valuable.
not just a fuck doll, dude.
It's a designer, she'll say. You know, some people might say a Louboutin shoe is just a shoe, but it's not. It's designer, and that's a designer sleeve. That's what makes it so valuable. Besides, it's owned by Nikolai Volkov.
Can I determine if she is withholding information? Like, it's like, is she like shifting? Or does she fully 100% believe that this is valuable because it's a sculpt designer sleeve?
I will put sorry, it's Roman Volkov, not Nikolai Volkov. Every time I make a mistake, you guys should get a stack for me.
Good work. Good.
So give me you can make a person roll, which is under empathy. This is Nikolai Volkov, by the way. He is one of the most powerful Meths, and the main reason that he is because he owns Volkov Arms. They're the #1 manufacturer of railgun technology.
I rolled. I needed to roll a 4. I rolled a 2.
Okay. Calypso Callie has completely bought into the fact that designer is like so much better than anything. She believes this, and you would probably know from that the price of these sleeves are very high. Like they do run in the millions of dollars. The only thing that might come to mind is that it could be used as since Roman obviously has some kind of very strong attachment to it, it could be used as leverage or blackmail somehow, perhaps.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but Calypso Callie believes this. You do not believe for a minute that these guys bought this sleeve because it was designed.
Right. She doesn't. She's not aware. So
She's an assistant to Alessandro.
right. Okay.
I will give you one thing I will give you on the read person roll is that she no longer appears stressed. She recovered fairly quickly. She now seems a bit excited.
All right.
So what's the next move?
Get the fucking sleeve. And she turns and looks at Fade. Are you stable?
Plural, right? Sleeves.
We were hired to get one back.
I mean, technically, I had to grab the first sleeve that was there, and technically, Sculpt doesn't own that sleeve. I mean, it's a clone sleeve of someone. I mean, it's not even our property, and I stole it.
Whoops.
Yeah, you did.
She kind of looks. Oh, well, fine then. That's how it is. I'm used to ruthlessness, she'll say. I know how to climb the corporate ladder.
In answer to Morgan's question, Fade's appearance will kind of shimmer for a second, and she's going to change her hair from like green and straight to short and pink and curly, as well as her shirt's going to change too. And she's like, I don't know what you mean. I am stable. But she's going to sit down next to Callisto and just kind of pat her on the hand and be like, you're in my house.
Yeah, I am.
Why are you still here?
Oh, sorry. Aren't we a team now?
Is she joining the club?
We are not a club. This is not a team. We have a job. And once that job is done, I will never look at any of your faces ever again.
I will not split my pay with her.
Aekira is like, to go over to you, Kai, she goes, I really like her. Listen, she says, there's one thing in CTAC that we had, that we did a little bit differently than how we're doing things. It's like, we don't show up at the mission site going, oh, do you know the plan? Do you got a plan? What's our plan? I mean, they took the sleeve. We need to get it back. Are we going in guns blazing? Are you going to try and pick locks? She looks at you, Pierce.
Guns.
Are we using her as a bullet shield? She points at Callie. Callie's like,
Guns blazing is hardly ever the option unless you are
she shrugs.
Protectorate.
Unless
No, I do believe we should try to infiltrate as best as we possibly can.
Okay. All right. Well, the tracker goes for about probably about 30 minutes, and then it stops. It is on the edge of the industrial district, but it is still, it's probably, so if you were to think about you're 3 streets over from kind of like the Vegas Strip, so there is a fairly active kind of residential nightclub scene, but then kind of the lights go dark and it just becomes industrial, and it stops in an industrial area.
Well, this is where they are. We can go now, or we can prepare. Does everybody have? Hopefully, we won't need weapons, but does everybody have something?
Callie, I don't have a gun.
You're not coming.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So, I guess I'll be leaving then. So she'll start grabbing her thing slowly, and she's like,
Fade's gonna just open up the door for her and stand by it.
"You call me, right? Whenever you get the Miriam Bancroft sleeve back, so I can sneak it back in."
As long as you're available to us if we need you.
Oh, I'm available, like 24/7. You just call, I'll be there.
We'll make sure to get you the pieces back. And she's just gonna shut the door on.
Pieces. As she closed the door. All right.
I was right to assume that she would have just been a liability if we brought her along. Yes.
Well, she's an
Yes,
assistant.
little
Take
Miss
notes.
Corporate doesn't need to come on the job or be here in my
She will get your
house.
coffee order. She'll get your coffee order right.
All right, tall, dark, and stormy. She looking at Kai. What's the plan? You're ex CTAC. You're used to going in and getting things, whether people like it or not. What's the angle?
Right. The building we think it's handled in is there blueprints that we have, any schematics or anything of the outside?
Oh yeah, do some research. So if somebody wants to, let's see, I would say investigation under acuity, or you know what? This could also be data analysis. If you want to kind of search the, kind of create a program that goes out. So again, I just encourage you guys to be creative with the skills. If you can think of a creative way to use it. So for example, if I had a better data analysis, what I might say, or digital networking is another one. I might say, I'm going to write a program that goes out and does the investigation for me, right? Goes out and finds this information versus me having to look myself.
Is it possible to maybe find the Protectorate database for the schematics of the building, and then try to hack into it and see if there's any live camera footage or
give that a thought? And by you saying that, Kai, it does occur to you that this deck, this network that you have access to, one side of it is funds, so money. And by the way, you took some money and spent it last session. It has now repopulated, so it's the account has been made whole. There's another side of it which is an intelligence deck. It's just sitting there. Theoretically, you could go schematics this address and see what happens.
I'm going to hold off on doing that for now.
Okay.
Because I don't know who's monitoring that network. Yeah. I'm going to save that one for later. But it's good to know.
So I guess, Pierce, if you want to make a roll.
to hack into the mainframe.
Yep. Yeah.
While he's doing that, Morgan's gonna turn to Fade. Do you have something to eat?
I thought there was Pop-Tarts stuck between the sofa. The
That's
couch.
not
I love them
food,
so-
that's trash. Do you have something to eat?
There's some of those gross ration cubes in the kitchen, and when she says kitchen, she's gonna point kind of near the sink that also serves as the sink for the bathroom as well.
Morgan's just gonna like go over and start rummaging around for a snack. Just completely flavor.
All right.
That's a 3 on a 5.
A 3 on a 5. Yeah, Nice. So you can pick up, so we'll say 2 degrees of success or 2 successes. So I'll give you 2 bits of information. One is that the address is a warehouse. So I'll drive. This is kind of what the industrial district looks like. So 2 pieces of information. One is that it is a warehouse. So you haven't tried to, there is a network that goes into it. However, this role is not to access that. If you want to try, you can. But essentially, it's a warehouse. It's registration when you. So I'll give you a choice. Then you got 2 successes. So you know it's a warehouse. I'll give you the layout. Do you want information on security, or do you want information on who owns it?
Probably security for now.
Okay. All right. So the actual warehouse district is patrolled by the altered carbon equivalent of, I don't know, mall security or ADT or something. Just basically they're canine sentry units. They do not work for the people who own the warehouse. They actually they just patrol the warehouse area. Because it's where valuables are stored. There could be heists. So this is something that you will have to worry about as you approach, not once you're inside. Security for the warehouse itself, you do detect a network. However, and I'll give you 2 bits of information. One is that it appears to have been designed by an AI. 2, it's passive, which means the AI is not actively monitoring it. So that might mean that the AI built it and now, maybe the contract's expired, they're no longer there. But it is not actively monitored. It's a passive security network, which will be easier to bypass than an actively monitored one.
Well, there's going to be watchdogs around the exterior, and it looks like whoever built this in AI is not around anymore. It's strange. I wonder if this is just a holding location for these people, or if there's more being concealed here.
Yeah, you would actually, you would characterize the security network. So, essentially sensors that monitor when doors are opens, alarms, things like that. You would characterize it as neglected.
It's almost as if no one's been here for
updates haven't been done, things like that. Patches haven't been installed
for a long time.
Yeah, in fact, the place you can. I'll put a timestamp on it. 4 years. It looks like the software is about 4 years out of date.
Volumes. Well, getting in won't be a problem. Sneaking around the guard dogs probably won't be a problem either. It's not like
maybe the equivalent. The guard dogs, you would think of them as basically the equivalent of mall security. That's essentially what they are. They roam around in ones or in packs, and they essentially look for trespassers.
It's almost as if this place has been intentionally made to look abandoned, even with its digital footprint.
Yeah. The word I would use is neglected.
Neglect.
Yeah.
So they don't want to have anyone think that they're home.
Right.
Or they're legitimately just not home.
That is also possible.
Yeah.
Could be an underground operation. Was I able to see inside of the warehouse, or just the exterior?
If you want to actually get into the system, that would require another roll to actually go in. You've just gone to the threshold of the network so there's a separate network that manages the warehouse. You've just kind of gone to the edge of it.
Well, we should be fine approaching. I can also try to tell the guard dogs that we are friendly, if that's something we want.
So are we just stealing this thing back, or are we going to try and reason with people? What happens if there are people there?
Well, hopefully we don't have to engage. We've been
But
hired
we need to have a
return
common
the-
thread.
Yes.
Aekira goes,
Do we
need
tell
open
them-
engagement?
Are we being upright and forthcoming with these strange entities that have bought this sleeve for a ridiculous amount of money and are storing it at a low security facility for seemingly no reason?
I will point out that the actual network 4 years ago was state of the art. It just hasn't been updated yet.
Do we really care about the squabbles of two meth lovers? Who cares who fucks who? Or why they steal each other's fuck dolls, or who sucks who? It's all irrelevant information. We just need to get the sleeve and bring it back. Who cares if it's not guarded well enough right now for what this place is or who owns the place?
How many times have you been shot, Kai?
Twice.
See, as far as I know, I've not been shot at all. And I'd like to keep it that way. Kind of a fan of that perfect record. That's my point.
So,
Bright and Kai and Morrigan, read person roll, please.
Yes.
read person.
Yeah, it's under
I rolled a 5, and I needed a 4. So no go.
10
Yeah,
30.
I'll let everybody's in on the
Ooh.
conversation. I'll let everybody roll. So go ahead.
I rolled a 2 under 30.
Oh, nice. All right. You note that when Morrigan said, "How many times have you been shot, Kai?" You note that Aekira she had like a twitch, like almost like she had a flashback, and she visibly has to compose herself. But it's over in like 3 seconds.
I also rolled a 2 under 30.
You notice that as well. Like, in fact, your reaction, how I would describe it, is she reacted as if she just got shot.
Right. I'll notice a kind of like side eye, but go back to Morrigan right away. Listen, if you don't like being shot, shut the fuck up when we get there. Stay real quiet like. We get by all the security, we grab the useless fuck sleeve, and we leave with it. Our friend here talks to robotic dogs, and he's gonna tell them that we come in peace. So we don't have to do anything untoward unless we royally fuck this up. And then he'll immediately look over at Fade.
Right.
She's gonna just grin at him, and then she's gonna look back. I think it's strange that we're trying to pretend this sleeve isn't extra special. I don't know if you saw those eyes on the people that came to pick stuff up, or the fact that everyone's just swapping this thing around like a hot potato.
No
But
one's
it
denying
seems-
that the sleeve is special, that it means something to them, or that there's something locked away inside. But our job is to retrieve it and give it back to our employer. Now, Miss Morrigan, if your interest is to keep the number of holes in your body the same number of holes that it is now, I suggest we not go sticking our finger in other people's holes so that something comes out to shoot us. I don't want to be a part of this process. I'd like to get the job done, I'd like to collect my money, and I'd like to go on my merry way. Do you agree, Morrigan? Do you agree?
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Please, by all means. And she'll kind of bow low, gesturing to the door. Lead us on, fearless commander, with a jaunty, fake ass salute.
Yes, I want to be done with all of you.
Well, then let's get on our way. The longer we stick around and talk, the longer we'll be together.
Do you have the schematics in a manner that we can all see, or is it all locked away in your head?
Pierce will wave his hand, and all of your Onis will flash with a message with the schematics of at least the exterior of the warehouse, I'm assuming.
Yeah. You know what? With the city, there's probably a very generic schematics. Like, it wouldn't have details as to what rooms are what, but at least you can get the layout on the building. So you can arrive. So basically, I don't know if you guys have one of you probably has a vehicle, or you just get a cab or a futuristic Uber or something, or take public transit. But I'm assuming you have some sort of transportation.
Take the tracks.
You know what? In the future, you could probably, I would guess that cars don't need drivers, so you can probably order up a vehicle and it just shows up and you can get in and it just takes you wherever you want to go.
On the way, I would like to attempt to find out whatever operating system these guard dogs are operating on, and figure out whatever code or appearance or, I don't know, facial recognition software they use to identify a good versus bad person in front of them.
Okay.
And add all of our profiles to their good person software.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to give you. So I'm going to use stack points like inspiration. I'll give you one for that. Because you're not trying to reprogram them or anything. You're just basically, hey, you're just adding your name to the authorized list. So that would be.
I thought, yeah, hold on. weird because I can hear you. So, yeah. Let me check. I can see it moving though, so hold on. It's on default. Let me just change it really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
we
any-
can hear you. We can hear you on stream, but we can't hear any of us. Oh, we're back.
Yay!
that good?
Okay.
Yeah, we're back.
Thanks, guys.
Uh,
Sorry.
So
All
there's
good.
docking terminals for the car share, so you can basically dock it into place. So on one side, you see the thriving, living and lighted street where people are going about their nightlife. Meanwhile, in the distance on the other side is the darkness of the industrial district. Now, this pink backpack item is actually going to take place in reverse order. This isn't the one that I drew first, but it does actually it affects this. So everybody piles out of the car and starts slipping into the shadows of the alleys to lead you towards the warehouse. Everybody, speaking of sound, everybody except for Morrigan, please turn your headphones off. Won't be too long. So Morrigan, you step out of the car, everybody gathers the things, moves into the shadows, and you realize you were standing near the alley where you had your first memory. The killing, and you kind of have a flashback. You know, the memory boils up, resurfaces. You realize the killing must have started sometime before your first memory. You remember wiping blood from your eyes so that you could bring the scene into focus. You know, there were machines, consoles, control screens, all slick with red. 5 bodies strewn around the room and 5 bloody stacks in your left hand. You're naked except for a strange apparatus attached to your head. You reach around, your sticky fingers probing for the release, but you can't find one. You glance around for any sign of your clothes, nothing. So you pull on an expensive looking trench coat off one of the stiffs and slip it over your shoulders, and you slip the 5 stacks into your pocket. You don't look back. You don't know where you're going. You just want to be anywhere else but here. When you hit the busy street, this very street with all these people walking on it, you merge with the pedestrian traffic. The blood that had started to dry on your face is now dripping off your chin as the rain is pouring down, but nobody gives you a second look, not in this part of town. Your mind races. You don't know your name. You can't remember anything other than the last few minutes. Your eyes catch your reflection in a shop window, and you stop and stare because it is the very first time that you've seen yourself. Who the hell are you? Whoever you are, you need a place to stay, a place to figure things out. You pull the trench coat tight and resume walking with the crowd. The direction doesn't matter, just the distance. You zone out and start humming a song you don't know. After several blocks, you realize that the people walking beside you are all humming it as well. And the memory fades. You did not remember this. This is a memory which has come back. And when I say that the people were humming along with you, I mean it. Like 10, 12 people, you started humming, and then by the time you get a block away, they're all humming in tune with you. All right, everybody can put their headphones back. So this alley that everybody's walking down and you're heading in a direction, it's one that you've trodden before.
She takes a deep, gasping breath. Kind of straightens her shoulder a little bit. She'll actually go over to like a side wall and kind of like try to spit just the bad taste out of her mouth for a second, before turning back to everybody else. Right.
When you turn around, you see Phaedra looking at you with her head tilted like that.
Can we go? This place is disgusting.
Right. Is there a fence on this place?
No, there isn't.
Just
they don't. Yeah, you pass by a couple of the dogs will stop and kind of sit and put out their paw or sit up pretty or wag their tails or whatever Pierce wants them to do. But before too long, you're looking at the warehouse. It's dark. There's no real external lighting. There are a couple of different types of doors. There would be cargo bay doors, which obviously I guess the truck would have went through. And there are also personal size doors. There are multiple entrances and exits to this building. I would say at least 3 cargo doors and maybe half a dozen personal size doors that go in and out.
All right. I'm going to head towards a door towards the back of the building that we're looking for, the specific warehouse that we're looking for.
One of these damn dogs is following you guys.
Personal size door.
Okay.
Pierce, can you do something about, Skippy over there, pointing to one of the dogs?
He's grown attached.
I suppose. Oh boy. Does this dog seem a little too interested, or just?
Oh, that's just me being funny.
Oh, okay, just. Pierce is going to quickly just kind of go through a bunch of files on his Oni while looking at the dog, and the green light. I'm just because I rolled a 1. I'm assuming you're gonna let this happen. The Oni is going to flash for a moment, and the green light on the dog is actually going to turn purple. Okay. And Pierce just says, "I'll see you at home, boy." And he shoos the dog off, and the dog's going to run off towards Pierce's hideout.
Okay, that's awesome. And by the way, you would know this, as it may or may not be relevant. You see how the dog's faces are flat? They can actually emit. Have you ever seen those crowd dispersal weapons that like microwave people and cause like their skin to feel like it's on fire? Yeah, that's what these dogs can do. They have a variety of subdual weapons. So yeah, you got yourself a little canine unit now.
Oi, Pierce.
Yeah.
Can you make anyone holding a flashlight? Can you take them off the whitelist?
I'm not sure I understand.
The security guards are walking around all over this place, right?
Uh-huh.
They need flashlights, maybe a gun. I don't want to put guns on the red list or on the black list, but can you have anybody carrying a flashlight?
I see what you're saying. Right. Pierce is going to go into his Oni one more time and delete every name off of the approved list except for ours.
Okay. Meanwhile, some poor night watchman like 3 blocks over is doing his rounds. He's gonna
How widespread is this?
It's for the park. It's for the industrial park.
Industrial park. This is some company on Monday mornings getting fired. Their contracts getting canceled. So you're going to keep this dog with you then?
That dog specifically, I sent.
Okay, he took some.
Sent off. But all of the other ones, I guess, are now going to be very aggressive towards everyone but us.
So you're at the door. You can give me a roll to bypass it. So that's just, again, a digital networking roll, Pierce.
3 on a 5.
3 on a 5, that's enough. You can open the door. And as soon as you open it, you hear music playing inside. And I would give, this would be an expression. This would be an expression roll for those of you who would care to make one.
I would love to.
Morrigan, you can take an advantage. In fact, I'm going to give you 2 bonus dice, which means you're going to roll 3 times the number of dice that you normally would, and take the lowest roll.
I got a 1 on a 4.
You got a 1. You recognize. So who all made it? No. Okay. So Morrigan, you're the only one who made it. The music is by a performer that you're familiar with called Sonata.
I got a 2.
A 2. You'd recognize her too. You've listened to a few of the songs. So essentially, Sonata is the Banksy of musicians. Always releasing. You might like this, Fade. Always releasing songs in weird places. Like someone might be walking through a mall, and all of a sudden that song is played, and people can pick it up on their own. Nobody knows who this person is, but their music just pops up. So you might even have a few of the songs. And Morrigan with a 1, essentially, you're very, very familiar with Sonata.
Yep. She won't say anything as she kind of comes in. She'll listen for a second.
So very unusual. This is not elevator music. This is not Muzak. This is very strange that this is being essentially broadcast over all of the speakers inside the warehouse.
Seems like someone's trying to get a party started.
Okay.
All right.
Already got the fox sleeve here. May as well use it, I guess, right?
So you can enter the hallway, leaving the door open or closed behind you.
Closed. 100% closing that door.
Yeah.
So,
Can we see anything when we're in here? Like what's visible?
essentially what you're in looks like it's the back door looks like it's a corridor. There are a few offices off of it, but at the end of the corridor it looks like it opens up into a larger area. There's no real lights on in any of the rooms back here, but there's definitely lights on. You can see lights at the end of the corridor in the larger area.
Well,
So
Kai, it might be beneficial if you take the front.
Sure, why not? And he'll pull out his X9 Beretta.
Aekira pulls out her gun as well. She goes, "I've got the back, just in case."
Can I just roll a stealth just to kind of like hang back?
Absolutely. And just remember,
It's my D6, and I get advantage, so.
yeah, you're going to use your chameleon.
Yeah, I got a 3. But hold on. I was granted a reroll by Mr. Rogers. A 2.
But you may not have to use it. So what's your perception bonus? That first number?
50.
A 50, yeah. 5. So you basically have to roll a 5 or less. So
okay.
you've got 2 degrees of success. If you, so you might want to keep the reroll. So
Okay.
that means that to find you, someone making an observation roll needs to get 3 degrees to beat you, essentially. So you just kind of blend. All of a sudden, Fade just blends into the shadows, and your group starts to move forward through what seems to be kind of a working area, like a worker's area, like there might be a cafeteria, like a kitchen area where people can have lunch. But again, none of this stuff appears to be used. There's a bit of an office building, but you as you're going through the corridor, you will see something. It's graffiti written on the wall. So there is a logo, but the logo is faded, but it does say, you can recognize it. It says Psychosec, but the graffiti around it is somewhat disturbing. So basically it reads, keep changing pieces until I become whole, perfection through dissection.
Well, it looks like I was on the right track.
Give yourself another stack point there, Pierce. So you're going to keep moving forward.
Yes. Quickly, what is CTAC again? They're the company that we're working for right now, right? Or
No,
no?
not.
Skull.
They, to some extent, could be a rival. So
I see.
CTAC, they specialize in producing high-end sleeves and clones for the ultra-wealthy Meths. So very similar. They maintain, but the main thing that they do is they maintain vaults that house the clones of prominent families like the Bancrofts. They also contain a full DHF broadcast facility that allows them to needle cast their clientele across the globe, across the galaxies, across the outer colonies, essentially. I should have.
I'll keep proceeding down the hallway. I'd like to check, are the doors windowed or no? On the offshoots of this corridor.
The doors are, being a warehouse, I would say some of them, it's a mix. Some of them are, some of them are not. But most of them would not be. As you head forward, you'll see another, so at the end of the corridor where it starts to open up, so you can see the truck is actually parked in one of the bays. But you see another piece of graffiti. What's with me and graffiti? I just realized that Clowns of Funland as well. But anyway, it's a good way to convey things. There's another piece of graffiti.
Does the music say all or one?
You're gonna stop and listen to it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been kind of listening to it this whole time. But upon seeing that, I'm definitely gonna try and like clue into it a little more.
Yeah, so you can do this in a couple of different ways. One is that the music is a digital broadcast, so it can be analyzed with any of the data skills. Data analysis would probably be the most appropriate. Or you expression. You just want to kind of, well, you know what? I might also allow for investigation. So you can pick one
Ooh,
of those.
I'll do investigation.
Okay.
I got a 4. Crap. Wait, I'm gonna use my reroll. Because I've only got a 30 in acuity. Nope, that didn't work. Nope.
Yeah,
I
so,
guess I don't
what
really
you can
know.
do is memorize the song. You can go, okay, I know this song. I'll look it up when I have more time.
Okay. I will do that. I'm gonna just really focus on listening to it and try and commit it to
Yeah.
memory.
Inside the bay is the truck, and there are 2 of these couriers. They are just standing beside the truck, absolutely not moving.
Not moving like they're empty, or not moving like they're just standing like sentinels guarding.
Yeah, I would say your first one, empty.
Okay, I'm gonna continue to stealth up to them,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna get kind of really close to one, and then look at the rest of my group with like my finger out ready to poke. I'm gonna poke the guy to see what he does.
All right, you can poke him, and nothing happens.
Can I change my chameleon ability to look like one of these things?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna turn back to them and kind of shrug and just like make this symbol, the signal. Like, clearly there's no one home. And then I would like to walk around to the back of the truck.
Okay. And there are, so going off of this cargo area, there are other doors which lead into other parts of the facility, but you can go around back. The cargo area would be closed, but there's just a release there that you can hit, and essentially open up the back door if you want.
Yeah, I basically, my intent is to confirm that the sleeve is no longer in the truck and has been
Yeah, you open it up and it is not there. You know what, Pierce? You're probably still tracking. I'm assuming the trackers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm assuming trackers in the altered carbon universe are like accurate to within like, I don't know, a millimeter or something. So you actually on your Oni, you know that the sleeve is in that direction.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
so you can approach, you can move through the area, leaving these creepy, silent kind of couriers behind.
Are they just empty sleeves? Empty organic sleeves, or are they robots of some sort?
Well,
When I poked it, did it feel organic or robotic?
it did not feel organic.
Okay.
Felt-
Are you
felt
asking
synthetic-
that out loud?
Felt
Pierce?
synthetics. So synthetics are can be humanoid to the touch. These are not. You touch it, it's kind of like steel.
Yes. Phaedra, did they feel normal?
And
robotic.
she's gonna, still looking like one of these things, she's just gonna nod, like shake her head and do like a...
But, don't worry about leaving them here. We don't have enough time. Let's continue.
Okay. You can head in towards another area of the facility. And again, I'm assuming, Kai, you're taking the lead.
In the area that we opened up to where this truck was, by the way, are there garage doors?
There are, yeah, bay
Okay,
doors.
so there are other exits. It doesn't look like we're being funneled down this way.
No, in fact, you again, I would characterize this as probably more of a who would think anyone would. I mean, whoever's in charge of this place is really kind of under the impression that nothing. Why would anyone come here, right? It's just so they're again neglected or absent-minded, either one. So you move through the facility, and you'll come into. You basically move down some corridors, goes through some doorways, and you'll come to a doorway where there is a glass panel in it. And looking through, you can see what looks to be a laboratory. There's a full surgical table set up. So this would be like, I guess probably like in Aliens, the automated surgeon, all the robotic arms and stuff. So basically, it's a multi-purpose, high-end surgical table. Sitting on that table is Miriam Bancroft's sleeve, and you note that there are around the room. There are some cryogenic. To some extent, they're similar to cryogenic containment chambers or freeze chambers, but for the most part, that surgical table is dominating. The music is playing probably onto a different song now, all by the same artist, and you can actually watch unfortunately, the actual robotic table is conducting surgery on Miriam Bancroft's sleeve.
What does it appear to be doing surgically?
Well, you can give me a medicine under intelligence, or science, either one, it's fine.
And they're the same. Okay.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
Is there a way I can shut it down?
You could try. Yeah, you could try and get into the network. Give me your. Now, if you want to analyze the network first, then use data analysis. If you just want to jump in, then you can use digital networking.
I'll just do digital networking.
What did you get, Fade?
I got an 11.
An 11. Yeah, you're not too sure.
Yeah.
It's cutting pieces of her out. You know that much, but you're not quite sure why.
Yeah.
It's a 5 on a 5.
A 5 and a 5. Okay.
Mhm.
And what was your Sorry, your skill level was 5, or your
Yeah.
target number was 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you bring up your Oni, and now suddenly you run into a part of the network around the lab that's very up to date. So it's all the patches are in place. It's AI designed, but again, not AI monitored. So just designed. However, I'm going to make a roll here. Yeah, so you realize there's no way without more time to kind of break through the firewalls. There's no way to remotely shut off this surgical table.
Okay.
So you're outside the door.
If we do want to save this sleeve, we should probably get it off the table as quickly as possible.
Oh, do we?
I'm gonna start
Wow.
scanning the room to see if there's any other sleeves that are around, namely the one we want.
There look to be sleeves inside some of these containers, these cryogenic containers, but you can't make out any of the features from here. I mean, you'd have to enter the room essentially.
Let's get in there and see if the one we need's in there. If we can grab the other one, we'll grab it. But I'm not going out of my way.
Containers is just give me. Can everybody literally take your headphones off except for Morrigan for 10 seconds? Morrigan, all of these consoles, the machines, you've seen them before, covered in blood.
Yep, that's what I was afraid of.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Everybody put them back. You can put them back on. All right. Who's going in?
Real quick, is the surgical table under any light, or is it just?
You know what? It is, which it wouldn't need. So that's, yeah, I'll give you a stack point for that. It is under light. The table wouldn't actually need it, which means someone in here uses light.
Okay. I'm gonna keep to like the dark parts of this and look for like what do they call them? Like a gallery view or operating monitoring like window up near the roof or anything like that.
Yeah, you want to say, okay, is there a spot where you can observe this and not be seen? Good question. Give me how about a search roll? I was almost tempted to say geography again, but
Search is perception, D10. Four under 50. Yep.
okay.
1 degree success.
So you can reposition yourself. So this is not. This would actually has been converted to a medical facility. So I'm going to say in altered carbon times, it's probably not one-way glass. It probably looks like a wall, but you can actually see through it. So you can kind of go down the hall, slip and check some different doors, and find a room where there are chairs, and you can actually take a seat if you want, and you have a direct view of this operation that's going on. Is everybody going with Kai?
I think since he's been leading, yes.
All right, you can get in and just take a seat if you want. I will just based on dust, etc. This observation room has not been used in some time. The lab is very active, but there's been no observers for some time. So as you watch, you can, if you watch long enough, again, unfortunately, Miriam has lost a few parts, but someone will enter, someone does enter the room.
I'll point my gun at wherever that's coming from.
Yeah. So it's on the other side of this glass. So you can see someone enters the room. This is an organic sleeve. However, it is heavily augmented with what looks like metallic parts. I'll give you, in fact, I'll give you, if everybody can make this roll, this would be engineering. It's underneath intelligence. I know it's probably made, I don't think I've ever asked for an engineering roll before either in a game, but you're probably all amazing at it. But for what
I got a 4 on a 4.
Oh, okay.
I got a 3 on a 3. Oh my god.
2 under 35.
I got a 4 on a 3. So close.
Well, all very close, but only need one of you to make it for it to dawn upon you. And Pierce, the actual network fluctuates a little bit at the same time. This is an organic sleeve that has had pieces of it cut out, and it is being filled in with a nanoswarm. Nanoswarms are what AIs use to form bodies. So essentially, this is an AI nanoswarm wearing an organic sleeve, but it has replaced numerous parts. You can, I will give you, oh yeah, no, you didn't want to take that, did you? No, I offered you to know the ownership. You know, you at least know this is connected to PsychoSec. You've never seen anything quite like this before.
And this thing is in the operating room, walking into the operating room.
It inspects. You'll actually see it walks over, it inspects what's happening to Miriam Bancroft, and parts of it will actually, the swarm will actually turn back into a swarm, so kind of collapse into nanites, crawl down the arm of this. Actually, I think I might have a picture. Yeah. So a little device comes out of its nose. It starts to probe, and pieces, and it'll actually spray out nanites onto the Miriam Bancroft sleeve and start to fill in the pieces that have been cut away.
Fuck.
This is truly perverse.
The eyes go dark, and Miriam Bancroft sits up on the table and looks around.
Whose eyes go dark?
The doctor's.
Miriam.
No, the red eyes of the doctor go dark, and as soon as they go dark, Miriam's sleeve sits up, and her eyes are now red. It sits up on the table and steps and gets off the surgical table.
Oh boy.
Fuck.
I think we need to put that thing down.
I don't know that we can.
Well, it's an AI.
Well, it's a nanite swarm of AI. You shoot one, and there's 400 billion more of them swarming around. That's why they call it a swarm.
Yes.
I don't know that we can take that thing out with a gun, unless you can hack all of them.
Her?
Kira.
I don't.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
No, go. You go.
No, Kira's like, AIs can go psychotic. They
Did you bring any
obsessed with things.
Did you bring any explosives with you?
I have a grenade. She'll say. But what about the sleeve we're looking for?
Right.
I don't know. And we didn't see the sleeve anywhere.
Oh, there are those cryogenic.
Cryogenic tubes.
Yeah.
But they're all like fogged over or something.
That's right. Yeah, because they would be whatever, fogged over or tinted. Aekira goes, listen. This thing is wearing sleeves, for lack of a better word, for some reason. It's not for operational purposes. It's psychological. It's possible that if we destroy sleeves, maybe we do some psychological damage to it. I don't know. She'll turn to you, Pierce. She goes, "Can you trap it?" If
Trap
you're-
it in a sleeve.
Well, I'm thinking that if we destroy every sleeve that it can occupy, it's going to go into the network, right?
Right.
At least until it figures out its next move. Once it goes into the network, can you trap it?
I could. Yes.
I mean, when was the last time you went toe-to-toe with an AI? A deranged AI?
Not for a while. But we can do it. So we're just going to trash all of the sleeves that are here.
Well, if you can trap it, then perhaps we won't need to.
What if we
We can
just trap it in one?
Just trap
Cut
it
it off
over
from the network.
Pierce, give me a roll give me one of those networking roll.
Is there an access console in this observation room?
There is, yeah. It's basically for it would serve two purposes. One, to interact with whoever's performing the surgery, so it has comms. But the other is it allows you to follow along, so it has all the medical readouts. It basically all of the consoles that are in the operating room, you can actually kind of cycle through them here on this terminal.
While Pierce is doing that, can I run over to the console real quick and see if I can open the other containment units that are around the table?
Yeah, you can cycle through there. That will require a digital networking role to do that.
Well, they are all doing that. I still looking like the weird empty robot guys. I'm just gonna go stand outside this door, kind of empty looking, and just stand watch so that no one comes up on us.
Are you going to stand in a place where he can see, where the AI can see you?
No, I just want to stand like in that hallway outside of this room so that no one can come up and get like the jump on us.
Yeah. Sounds good. So Pierce, what did you roll? And Kai, what did you roll?
I rolled a 2 on a 50.
And I rolled a 9 on a 30.
Here's why the system is neglected and why the sys network only seems to be built by an AI but not monitored by an AI. When the AI puts itself into a sleeve, he detaches himself from the network, almost as if he wants to feel like what it's like to be an individual, a human, someone wearing a sleeve. So you can't actually access him when he's in a sleeve because he's not connected to anything. He just deconnects, and you can see he does everything manually with his hands, or sometimes he'll form a tool with the nanoswarm.
Was the Oni cut out of Miriam's sleeve?
It probably never had one, unless you put one in.
I put one in.
Is that what your tracking was, or was that was a different?
I was tracking.
Yeah, and I assume that only because Kovacs on the TV show had to put it in after he got sleeves.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they don't store you with one in.
Right.
Yeah.
So was the Oni cut out in the operation?
Oh yeah, her eyes are removed.
Gotcha. I cannot trap him in the network because he is not linked to the network.
But he does have to flee. So when the
So
sleeve,
keep him in the sleeve.
if his sleeve dies, he would have to flee to the network and then occupy another sleeve. That's the only time he'd be vulnerable in the network, when he's doing that transition.
Oh, so he'd go into the network and then into another sleeve.
That's right. That's how he moves around. But once he enters the sleeve, he kind of severs all the links.
So we'll have
I can't use this console. Can you look at it to see if any of these containments are empty?
Yes, perhaps. Just could I use the same roll to see if
They are not. The containment chambers are not empty. They actually have sleeves in them.
are they detailed at all? Names?
They probably would be labeled, but I'm just thinking well, then again, he doesn't like to think like a computer. I would say they'd be labeled with numbers, which without knowing what the number stands for, you wouldn't be sure. But you can go, okay, those 3 containers are occupied.
It's one of these 3.
Well, we'll have to gamble then. My plan was to push him into one.
The Miriam sleeve now kisses the doctor sleeve.
Well, this is weird.
This is getting creepy. Let's act on this sooner than later. We need to push him into one of the cryo chambers. Can you stay in here? Open one of them. Aekira and I can get one into it. We'll have to gamble on which one because I don't know where our sleeve is.
Can he
Well-
open all 3 at once?
Can.
Just let them fall out?
Yep, you can.
The important thing here is if there is a sleeve that he can access, the nanobots can go directly to it. But if he has to upload himself back into the network to get to a sleeve, then I can trap him. So let's not open anything. Let's just destroy the Miriam sleeve and this disgusting doctor sleeve.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but if we destroy the sleeve it's inhabiting, won't the swarm just find another host?
We want to keep the swarm in a host and trap it.
Right. So my plan to throw one in a cryo chamber, open them all, let these things slump out. We'll shove it into one of the frozen chambers, put a few bullet holes in it so it knows pain, teach it a lesson, then close the cryo chamber and freeze it. But this will require you to pay real close attention to what's going on in there, or it's my ass.
I think I can do it. Yes.
Splendid. Kia?
She goes, yeah, Aekira is like, I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, I'm gonna try to make my way out of this room then without being seen.
I never fragged an AI before. Kind of looking forward to it.
Hold off on the explosives until we get the sleeve out of here. Then maybe.
All right. So I'm just gonna move you over here. All right.
I'm also gonna holster my X9
Yep.
and I'm going to pull out 2 smaller pieces of a gun from my jacket.
Okay.
And connect them, and I'm gonna put together my Praetorian AK.
Okay. All right. Heavy hitter. You will note, yeah. So basically, you see these chambers. Pierce, you engage them to open, and you'll note that the Miriam sleeve. Again, this is the AI's lab. It has to use ears and eyes and all that stuff because it's not connected to the network. But Miriam will turn towards the chambers as they're opening, and you will see inside. You will see the sleeve that you're looking for. It's already been augmented, but it's just standing there, kind of in the chamber. The other one cycles, and you can see a woman will actually, again, they're not clothed, but she literally, so she wakes up. So as soon as the chamber opens, she wakes up, looks around, and immediately starts trying to, and she just basically, there are probably small restraints that keep you in the containment chamber, or little straps. She's actively trying to escape when the Miriam sleeve suddenly goes into action and probably moving directly towards her more than anything.
Morrigan from the observatory room, she would have been kind of hanging back, maybe like
Yep.
uncharacteristically unsnarky through this whole thing. And when she sees someone fall out of that tube and the AI descends, she just yells, "Fuck!" And she's going to like scramble, like run, like to get into that room to protect that person.
Okay, let's do speed dice. So just a reminder, this is the Alter Carbon version for initiative. You get 1 speed dice for every bonus that you have under perception. So that's that first number. So if your perception is 4, you get 4 speed dice. If it's 5, you get 5. 6, you get 6. And what you're going to do is you're going to roll those all at once. You're not going to share them with anyone or me. And the lowest rolls are the good ones, and the highest rolls are bad. And you get to pick out of that roll. You get to pick which one are you going to use this very first round. Is this the most critical round? In which case, you want to pick your lowest. And just remember that any time that you take an action, it's going to cost a speed die. So pick your dice, and I'm going to go with the best roll that I have, which is a 2. Did anyone beat me?
I can beat you with a 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Same.
It's my 1-1, and I'm sad.
I rolled a 1 through 5, so I'm gonna go with my 1.
Fade, what are you going with?
Do you still want me to roll since technically I'm not in the room?
Well, the thing is, Morrigan has to go run past you. So I'm assuming
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're going to go, oh, something's going on.
Excellent. Okay.
You get a little bit of an advantage in the sense that you know what I picked, what I rolled. So, and what are you going with, Pierce, for your first?
So I'm staying by the console, so I'm going to take a 6.
A 6, okay.
I got a 2.
Okay, so basically you're going to go at the same time as the AI. But Morrigan and Kai, I assume you're both racing around and into the room.
Yeah, Morrigan's gonna, knowing that Kai has weaponry, she's gonna try and go down and low to get to the person who fell out of the chamber first, in an attempt to like push or dive, like get them behind something, if I can make it that far.
Yep. So give me, so take away one of your other speed dice, because I'm going to say this is, so you can, in a given, on your turn, it can cost you multiple speed dice if I feel the action was prolonged. So you can, but what you do is you go through the door, you dive across the room,
Perfect.
kind of slide, and you kind of grab, are you like grabbing her by the shoulders type thing?
Like kind of like almost shoulder checking her, like
Shoulder
to knock her down, to get her down and low and off to the side. Yeah.
So now it's you and her kind of huddled against the cryo chamber, and towering over you is the Miriam Bancroft sleeve, who looks from that angle looks quite formidable. Kai, you're the next person in the room.
I'm gonna get the Miriam Sleeve's attention by yelling, "Oi, Sleeve Slag!" And I want to try to put a few rounds in her to push her into the open container.
Okay, so you can only take one shot in a given on a given action, but you have multiple speed dice which you can use, so you can pull out your gun. So what you need
does auto fire change anything about this?
It adds damage, yeah. So basically, when you click the auto fire, it gives you +2 damage, basically +2 to the difficulty number. So your perception bonus is what, 5?
Mm-hmm.
If you go on auto fire, that becomes 7. But again, you're going to do more damage. Now, just as a reminder. This game does have hit location, so this sleeve does have a stack, and the AI is housed in the stack. Just to remind you, it would, even though it does have nanoprobes, its programming, just because it can control the sleeve, a part of its programming is going to be in the stack. So go ahead, you can take your shot. If you go auto fire, you need to get a 7 or lower.
So. What die am I rolling for this? Am I rolling the 1d8 then?
Yeah, is that your firearms?
Oh, firearms. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where are you? D6. Holy shit.
Oh,
Okay.
geez. Yeah, so that basically means on a 7. I mean, you're going to automatically hit.
There's no way to fail. Okay.
How good of a shot is it?
It is. Son of a bitch. No. I dropped my die.
All right.
A 3.
So your degrees of success is 4. The actual Miriam sleeve, is going to try and dodge, so that costs a speed dice. Going to make a roll. So basically, dodges reduce how many successes you get depending on how good I roll. Oh, Christ. So Kai, you fire off the round. The Miriam sleeve moves faster than you would have expected, and you realize that the nanites are kind of coursing through the Miriam sleeve's body, and despite the fact that you had a perfect shot center mass, she dodges it. I rolled a 1. Unfortunately, that's an ace, and your rounds kind of slam into the equipment on the opposite side of the room. All right, Fade, you're up. You and the AI. So the AI is going for Kai. What are you going to do?
I would assume that since Morrigan just ran past me, I'm immediately gonna drop the empty-looking robot guys and just follow after her and start up my blade.
Okay. You just right into the room with your blade.
Yep. And upon seeing the AI going for Kai, I will move to intercept and just swing at it.
So essentially what Miriam is doing is she strides, like her poise is perfect. And she strides across the room, and she's gonna reach out and grab Kai by the throat. And even as you're watching, you can see the nanoswarm in her face are starting to form kind of probing tentacle things. So Kai, here's how it works. So she actually, Miriam or whatever, managed to get a hit on you with the grab. However, it was only 1 degree of success. Even though you've already acted, you can spend another speed die to try and evade.
Sure will.
And what you're going to have to roll. So here's where you want, just as an FYI for everybody, because this is a reactionary roll, take your highest die, take your 6, and get rid of it. So you're going to roll athletics to avoid being grabbed.
That's a 1.
Oh.
Woo!
Yeah. So you get to narrate. I'll let you narrate what happens.
All right. After firing off the AK and seeing Fade jump in to intercept and seeing this thing kind of like lunge at me, he's gonna have like a moment of like panic. Like he wasn't expecting this thing to move at like superhuman speed. And so to dodge out of the way, he'll literally just like jump back and kind of slide on his back away from this thing for a moment. It's not like a pretty, or it's not like a backflip. He just dives out of the way with his gun kind of across his chest and slides on hard concrete. I'm
sorry, guys.
Oh, he's on his back and he's just kind of looking at it. He's going to level the gun to try to shoot from the ground on his next turn.
And that means, Fade, you are now the predominant, you're the main focus. Is the AI with kind of matching shining eyes stares intently at you.
I'm gonna try and slice off its head, or at least the front of its face, because it's got the, like, no thanks. What do I need to...
So this is going to be
melee combat.
Melee. And again, your difficulty is typically your own skill. So whatever your strength number is, you need to roll that or lower.
So my strength is 4, and my melee combat I get a D8, so...
Yeah. I know this game can be a bit brutal on the...
It's a 7.
Okay.
No.
So you
hurts.
swipe out with the blade, and the Miriam sleeve just steps aside. But again, every time she moves, unlike Kai, who just threw himself and clumsily kind of fell on the floor. Every time Miriam moves, it's so graceful.
Yeah.
So, Pierce, you haven't gone, but you're inside. You realize things are not going exactly as planned. Here, so what are you going to do? Anything, or are you going to hold?
So the AI is not connected to the network at all right now.
No, it isn't.
Right. What I want to do is, since I'm not in a position to close it off or anything like that, I want to see if I can lock the AI out of its network.
Oh, lock it so that when the sleeve is killed, it is nowhere to go.
Right.
You'll have to stay in the stack. Okay. Yeah, give me a roll for that.
I'm assuming that's digital networking.
That's right. Yep.
There's my dice. It's a 4 on a 5, 4 on a 50.
Damn.
4 on a. Okay. Yep. So it's 1 degree of success. So you are up against it. So just a reminder, you can spend stack points to add more degrees of success. So basically, it now, when it occurs, you have 1 degree of success. So when it tries to, that's basically the strength of your firewall. When it moves, that's what it has to be at the moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna add 2 degrees of success to that, using 2 stack points.
Okay, so 3 degrees of success. Okay, on the next round, pick another speed dice and put it up. I'm going to go with. I didn't roll very well. I'm going to go with. Wait. You have to pick your speed dice first.
3.
All right, I'm going with a 4.
Oh, sorry.
2.
Oh,
Guy,
For our
2.
next, I'm going with my 5.
Yeah.
I'm going with a 3.
You're going with a 3. Okay. This may sound like I'm making a mistake, but I'm absolutely not. Morrigan, you're up first.
Okay, Morrigan will turn back.
As basically, when you touch her shoulders, you feel very confident. But it's almost like the two of you look at each other, and there's this. It's almost like you have the confidence of 2 people. And
Yeah, she's gonna look at her and say, "Get out," and then turn back to the tube where the sleeve we're here to retrieve is. Is it just standing in the tube?
It's waiting for the AI to occupy it.
Yeah, she's going to tell the person, "Get out," and kind of gesture back away, like a door that's away from the AI.
Okay.
And she's gonna move towards the sleeve and try to like knock out its ankles to get it to kind of fall, use gravity to get it to fall out of the, no, she would do this, try to get it to fall out of the tube so she can grab its feet and start dragging it out the door.
Okay. Yeah, so you can go over and you can manhandle the big man sleeve. No problem.
Perfect.
Don't need to make
Yeah.
any rolls for that.
She as it kind of like slumps out, she'll actually kick it just like in passing, because like fuck this sleeve for real, as she grabs it and just starts like dragging it awkwardly to try and get it out. Also like making eye contact with this person and like let's go.
The last thing she does run, but she does say something to you before she does, and all she says is she'll say, "Look for the sanctuary. The music will show you the way," and then she runs.
Perfect.
All right. I believe Kai and Phaedra have both. You both have a 3, or did you have a 2?
I did 2.
Okay, you're up, Kai.
Yeah, as I said, from the ground, I'm just gonna fire another magnetic rail at this thing. How much? I mean, I can only see the upper body, so I'm gonna aim for like center mass.
Yep. So again, same deal. And just remember, it can dodge, and it's been pretty graceful. But every time it dodges, it's using speed dice. It's gonna, and it may run out.
Sure. It's probably another auto success to roll that one, but yeah, if it wants.
So it's the degrees that's important, not necessarily that it's
Okay.
that it's a success, right?
That
Yes,
one.
this is all
Oh,
those-
another one.
Did you roll a 1?
Woo!
Another one.
Get him.
These
It's
dice.
It's like
hate
7 degrees of success.
me. These dice hate me normally, but we're playing a game that rewards failure, so they're rolling straight ones.
Nice.
You get to dictate what happens.
uh,
So just as an idea, just to put it in perspective, your damage is going to be, so a 1 also cannot be. It means a guaranteed success. The damage for your weapon, when you roll it, I don't know if you have it written down there, but when you roll it, if you have 7 degrees, you're going to multiply it by 7.
all I see is the damage is 1d6 plus 8. I also see magnetic rail plus 1 damage, and then I have what does TN stand for?
That's the target number, so you don't need to.
Okay.
Which gun are you using?
The Praetorian AK.
Oh, the Praetorian AK. Oh, yeah. Let me just look at that for a second. Okay, so anyway, you can dictate. Your damage is going to be pretty huge, so you might want to. I guess if you want to roll that first, I guess.
Oh my god. I rolled an 8 on the D8.
Yeah, and you're more than welcome to just use the multipliers. All right.
Holy shit.
I
So
have
an 8. Is it plus 6 or is it plus 7? Because I'm
It's,
using a magnetic rail.
112 is the damage.
Yeah, so it's 1d8 plus your. What's your perception?
50.
50. Yeah, so it's 1d8 plus 6. That's the total damage that a Praetorian
Cool.
AK does.
Awesome.
You rolled 8. So, all right. So yeah.
So yeah, I pull the trigger. The gun jams for a sec. I hit the clip in. I pull the trigger again, and it's a small entry, but it leaves an exit wound the size of like a bag of bowling balls.
Yeah, it basically shreds the sleeve. There is you can roll the skull die because it's an automatic weapon and you just kind of fired. You're gonna roll the skull die. If the skull comes up, that means that you've destroyed the stack. So the skull is a 1 on a die 6.
Okay.
But you roll that.
Let's roll the other d6 then. I rolled a 6.
Okay, so the stack is not shredded. But Phaedra, as you're standing, so Miriam's body is literally, it's been blown to pieces by this assault rifle. But the actual nano swarm holds it back. It's like holding the body together. You can see tendrils reaching out and kind of, keeping muscles, rerouting and rewiring muscles, fixing the spine. So what are you going to do?
It's talking a free action.
Yep.
Morrigan, as she's dragging and seeing them like blowing this thing apart, is just gonna scream, "Get it in the tube!" as she's hauling this thing out.
So do you want to tackle it, Phaedra? Is that your thinking or what? I don't think
Man, I don't know that. All right, so I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna just try and shove this thing towards the cube or tube.
The chamber, whatever the hell it is.
Yep.
Morgan's kind of going through it right now.
The only other thing which I would say, and again, it's up to you, is that right now it's trying to hold the body together. A strike with your blade would cause it.
Yeah, I want to kind of do like an upward slice up through its middle, if I can.
In which case, you would just need to grab the big piece of the body with the stack.
Yeah, and
grab that,
shove
and
them in.
Someone
Yeah.
did.
Can I try and do that? I would
Go
like
ahead.
to try and just slice it.
Because of the overwhelming damage that was caused to the sleeve, and the fact that I actually have to spend a speed dice for the AI to kind of try to pull itself back together, I will give you advantage on the roll because it's not. It's kind of a helpless target.
Oh my God. Okay, so I got a 5 the first time, but 2 the second time, and my strength is 4. So.
Yeah, so if you're using your blade, that does a die 8 plus 4, and that's a multiplied by however many successes.
Yeah, so 2 degrees of success.
Yep, so roll your die 8, add 4.
A 6 plus 4, so 10.
Yeah, so you slice up with the blade, and the actual the Miriam's body just collapses into pieces. Unfortunately, the surgery had already taken out quite a bit of the insides, right? So it's pretty. You know what? There's ego points here. Maybe I should have everyone do an ego roll. It's pretty horrifying to see it just kind of fall apart. But the nano swarm itself, you can see it's basically retreating into the head and kind of sprouting legs, and like the Thing style, the head and the legs are trying to move across the room towards the big muscular sleeve.
Morgan seeing it and just like trying to double her efforts.
All right, so Pierce. Aekira, she actually is going to run across the room and try and.
Can she drop kick this head? Can she just punt this head into one of the chambers?
That's what she's going to do here. That's not a bad roll. She just got 1 degree of success.
Woo!
So that's it. I'm going to say the actual sleeve itself is. I've used up quite a few speed dice, and again, that damage is pretty overwhelming. So she will punt it into the chamber, and you can see as soon as it goes into the chamber, the Miriam head just explodes as the nano swarm basically tries to form itself into some type of body. And Pierce, it is going to try and escape. The actual chambers themselves, you can needle cast into them. So because you can needle cast into them, the AI can get out if it needs to, but it has to. It basically now has to go up against your 3 successes. So I'm going to make a roll here, and I'm assuming someone closes the door.
Yeah, I'm assuming Pierce is on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So just so you know, your stack points were not wasted. I got 2 degrees of success, but it needs 3. So it is trapped in the cryo chamber, in the sleeve, and it is essentially. So now I'm going to get Pierce you to make a roll to activate the cryo chamber before it essentially uses the nano swarm to basically try and smash through the chamber.
I don't suppose there's a way I could use speed dice to like improve my rolls or anything like that.
I will let you spend. Yeah, let's. Why not? Let's do a little bit of a new roll. You can spend extra speed dice to give yourselves advantage, because the whole idea here is you're taking away your number of actions in a round, and concentrating it into a single action. So I'll let you roll a bonus die for every speed die that you have. So that's just basically like advantage. But in this, there's no limit. You can actually roll you can have 4 bonus die if
I mean, I've got 4 extra speed die laying around here, so let's just see if I can roll.
So give me the roll.
There is a 1, so that is that is a 1 on a 50.
All right, you have activated the cryo chamber, and you've frozen the nano swarm. You probably can't freeze the AI, so the AI is active, but it is literally trapped in this stack with a nano swarm, which can't move. Good job, jeez. I can't believe the damage that was dealt.
Jeez.
Nor I. The fuck have I been doing with a pistol this whole time?
So before we deal with the fallout, maybe a good time for a break.
Yes.
Everyone wants to go get a drink or what have you.
Hell
We'll
yeah.
be back in 5. Welcome back to TPK. Our heroes just trapped the AI, the deranged AI, in a cryo chamber. And Morrigan, you have the sleeve that you've been chasing all over Bay City. You now have it. It's there. However, it is heavily modified with various parts and components. So here's the thing. I'm showing you the picture. You see all those metal parts that are on. That's normally filled in by the nanoswarm, but since the nanoswarm is now trapped in a cryo chamber, those are like holes in the sleeve's body. So there's organs missing. There's no eyes. It's just eye sockets.
Yeah.
So it's
Morrigan, yeah, she's horrified by this. Like like she's seeing, like she's not okay. She's gonna flip it over, and where there's like, I guess, she wouldn't really know how the AI was working necessarily, but is there like a blank stack in the neck or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a blank stack.
Yeah, she would pull that out. Like nothing is inhabiting this freaking sleeve while it's in our custody.
Right. The stack itself is actually embedded in the neck. So you'll have to tear the skin a bit or cut the skin a bit to get it out, but you can, no problem, no roll required.
Awesome.
At this point, remember the CTAC deck that you seem to have an access to? It's just the comm feeds have just come online. Unit 2, move to position 1, Unit 7. And you can actually, all of a sudden, you're just like the old days, where you're on a mission and there's an intelligence officer kind of directing the teams. That has gone live on your own.
Okay. Does anything come on visually, or is it just an auto response?
You can join the chat room or join the room if you want.
I'm gonna grab the fuck sleeve and throw it over my shoulder in a fireman's carry.
Okay.
Bloody oath. We got out. It's time to get out of here, though. I hear we got company. I don't know why I'm hearing it now, but that's a conversation for later. It's time to head home for a couple of beers and a wristy.
So are you logging into that
No, I'm gonna take the cue from the audible I can't look at Sarah. I'm gonna take the cue from the audible like clue that I got, but I'm not gonna log in because again, I'm very wary of who's watching that, and I'll just usher all of us out if we can.
I would like to go over first and just grab some sort of small surgical device, just something like, almost like a pencil, and just kind of come over to this magical sleeve and just to his nether regions, just kind of like lift up like.
Check. Well.
Okay.
Pay top dollar.
Doesn't really seem worth the trouble.
Whether worth it or not, you got the sleeve. You put it over your shoulder. The Miriam sleeve is basically a smear across the floor and the consoles. There's not much you can do there. You can take a hand or an arm if you want. But as you put this,
I'll collect a few small bits for Callista. Or Callisto?
Yeah.
Calypso, yeah.
Calypso.
Calypso Cal. I had fun coming up with that name.
Little Miss Corporate.
So Kai, you put the sleeve. It's a heavy. Well, it's maybe a bit lighter now that a few pieces are gone, but it's still heavy, right? And naked. So you got this naked big sleeve over your shoulder, that's when you hear the breaching charges going off. Boom, 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 coming from the various exits and entrances.
Question. I don't suppose our guard dogs are doing anything about our new guests?
You get a stack point. Suddenly you can probably hear gunfire. You probably hear the sound of half of the breaching charge is going off and gunfire as every canine unit in the, because when one senses a problem, they all come running. So I can't believe this is happening to me. All my plans.
I would like to start running in the direction of one of the non-breached doors if I can. Hopefully one of those is by the truck, maybe?
Oh, the truck. Well, the truck is inside. Yeah, you can. Yeah, they probably would not have breached the cargo doors. They would have breached the smaller doors, right?
Yeah, let's go to the truck.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're still in this truck.
Okay, so you basically jump into the truck, yeah, you can Pierce. You can. The doors are easy enough to open. You walk. The couriers are just standing there, staring. They still.
Can I go back into courier form and get in the truck?
And as the door opens, and you come just driving out. Now, mind you, this truck does have wheels, but vehicles in Altered Carbon, as you know, they can drive on the ground, but the wheels can tuck up and they can fly. So this is a combo vehicle, so it can fly as well, which I'm assuming is what you're probably going to do.
Yeah, whatever's quickest.
But as you, okay, I now need to. So as you exit the building, you can actually see a squad of CTAC Praetorians engaged in a fierce firefight with like 20 of these dogs are coming from all over the park. And Kai, over the chatter thing, you can hear things like, "What the fuck? Where the fuck are these dogs coming from?" To the left, and and in the chaos, there's a truck, and one guy tries to raise his gun towards it, but one of the dogs will jump him, and I will want maybe. Oh, geez, here we go again. Geography. I didn't realize this skill was so useful. That's it. I'm putting it in every game. I mean, you need to get out of here, and you need to, think about where am I going to go? How am I going to make sure I'm not followed? That's going to be a geography roll. Someone's got to make it.
Can I make the case that since Morrigan is familiar with how she left this place ish,
you can follow that exact route.
that she could direct the driver to get out, maybe giving myself advantage on a geography roll.
Yep. Yeah, that's a fair argument.
Excellent.
Could I attempt to help her? Well, she's already got advantage.
So
I was going
here's
to say,
what
because
I'm
I've got navigation.
Here's what I'm going to do, Morrigan, unless you made it.
I just made it. I have a 3 and I got a 2
Yeah, that's fair.
with
That's
the
fine.
advantage.
Yeah, so you can, so all of a sudden Morrigan knows where she's going. She didn't know where she was going when she came here, but she knows where she's going to get out.
Yeah, before she navigates though, she's actually gonna move to the back of the truck, and you'll hear retching sounds as she kind of like empties her empty stomach in just like a back corner, and then she'll come up like wiping away at her mouth and just say take a left and start like navigating them just in that same cool calculated fashion of
Where does Morrigan throw up?
just like the furthest back away.
Yeah.
So like in front of the seat in the back of the truck?
Yeah, so there's a front driver's compartment, and then which can probably sit 4. Then there is a doorway which you can go into the cargo storage.
Yeah, it would be like back towards the cargo area.
Which I'm assuming is where you put the sleeve. But
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, when we pile into the car and she's throwing up, I'd like to like duffel bag toss the sleeve into the back so that it just kind of like slides parallel with the ground over to her as she's like picking her head up. I won't flavor it any more than that, though there is an image that played in my head that made me laugh really hard. I'll tell you after.
So all of a sudden, Morrigan, you're out of places to go, but you're in a familiar neighborhood. You're in your neighborhood. But you have navigated them away.
Great. Yeah, she will kind of lead them to a general like like a busy intersection of some sort. Just and let's and call the dumb bitch.
Which
Tell her
one?
we got the fucking kid. Tell her we got her stupid sleeve.
Two
Let's
cow.
get paid and be done.
Little Miss Corporate. Okay.
All right, you can put out a call.
Yeah, I'll
and,
pop up my pony and call her.
She's like, "Oh, Phaedra. Oh,
I have pieces for you.
You're such a kidder. How can I? What's up? How can I help?
Oh, I have bits and bobs of Miriam. And we're told to return it to you. I also have something else for you.
The sleeve? You got the sleeve? Or take it to Sculpt right away. I'll meet you there. Oh, yeah, I'll meet you there. 30 minutes. Oh,
Okay.
this is gonna.
She's just gonna hang up and look over. I don't like this.
What do you mean? You don't like doing jobs and getting paid for them? Is it the getting paid part that you don't like? Is that it?
Well, doing the job's not a
There was a lot
pleasant
of
experience, I guess.
fuss over the fuck sleeve for us to just call up the receptionist and turn it in like an overdue library book with no problems. Maybe
Did you
that's
miss-
just that's all
It's
there
just-
is.
Yeah, no, that's literally all there is. This was the job. They're meths. They don't give a shit. There's no pomp and circumstance. They're just gonna we give them what they want. They give us money and send us back into the gutter. That's how this works.
Is this your first job, Fade?
No.
Is there something about the arrangement that you don't find fair dinkum?
No.
Well,
Maybe
will
I
say-
just don't like Little Miss Corporate.
aren't any of you at all curious as to why exactly this sleeve is so important?
Apparently not. Let's go get our money.
My curiosity isn't worth my paycheck.
I think Morrigan's cranky because she's pregnant.
Kira's like, what? You went on an op and you're pregnant?
She keeps throwing up.
Listen,
I threw up once, for the record, and if I was pregnant, it would be none of you fuckers' business. But
Well,
also,
responsible going out on jobs.
little
That's not-
fucking irresponsible abandoning the crew that you're supposed to be assisting to go, I don't know, just murder some random guy. I don't want to fucking hear it. Listen, I'm gonna get paid. I'm never gonna see any of you again. I'm going to talk to Cassiopeia and let her know never fucking again. And we're all gonna move on. And it's gonna be great.
Aekira walks up to you. She goes, but there is something off. Isn't there?
What the fuck are you talking about?
You're not pregnant, but there's something off.
Can I name the baby?
Oh my god. Morrigan will look at Aekira and say, listen, I thought you were ex CTAC, and that made me believe that you mind your own fucking business.
You're right. It's none of my business, but anyway, just looked like a few times tonight you were someplace else. That's all.
Just dreaming of the day that I never have to see any of you.
Listen, I'm your fan, she says. I thought you were very level-headed. And You acted like a pro inside that lab. She'll say. She'll look at Kai like someone skilled.
How many of these have you done before? Don't have to answer if you want to. I just figured you'd like some conversation, given the fact that you're such a cold bitch and you could copperroot, but replace for
many?
conversation, perhaps.
Oh, right. Like
How many of these jobs?
The post-session mixer. Yeah, no, I've been working for Cassiopeia for a while now. This is my first group gig. It probably will be my last.
She send you out in the field a lot?
Girls gotta eat.
What kind of work do
But
you
no.
do for her usually?
Not like this. And she just like gestures around to like, you know, everybody's a little scuffed up, and I'm assuming Fade has like inadvertently not putting away her blade yet. Like
She's still dressed up like the weird courier things with the
Oh,
robot eyes, but she is stroking imaginary hair.
yeah, she'll just like, not like this. That's for damn sure. I have
What kind
no
of jobs did you do for her before? Did you pick up her groceries?
Sure, errands, smaller events, solo gigs, things that an individual could handle themselves. I'm not into, and she gestures at like the weaponry. I don't deal with this shit. I don't deal with that shit. And she points at Fade, and she looks at Pierce, and I've never fucking hacked a computer in my life. I don't know why the fuck I was here, other than to just point out the obvious.
So there's nothing remarkable or special or useful about you in any way, and she sent you on a job with 2 mercenaries, a synth, and a technician.
I get the job done. Maybe that's it.
Do you? How do you
Do
usually
you-
get the job done?
By minding my own fucking business and turning my work in on time. What are you getting at, Rhodes? What do you want?
I'm getting at that Key's right. Something's not right about you. If there's nothing remarkable about you and all you do is mind your own fucking business, then what the hell are you doing here? Why are you so special? Why are you so curious? And why are you entertaining the notions of digging deeper despite being an aloof little cunt like you're being right now?
Aekira tries to step in between. She's like, listen, this was a stressful night. Let's get rid of the sleeve. Maybe grab something to eat. Hey, that diner place was pretty good.
We
Yep.
could get you some broth with some folic acid supplements.
Fade, I swear to God, if you think that I'm pregnant for one more second, I'll cut your stack out myself.
She's just gonna lengthen her blade from her hand.
Okay, put that away, Aekira.
Confusing, that one.
Definitely. Pierce, are we almost there?
Almost. Yeah.
Uh,
Pierce, who has been driving the car the entire time and not really engaging.
So Kai, you notice that as Pierce is kind of bringing the vehicle in towards Skull, you notice that the CTAC. The CTAC thing is still running. You can't get full details, but you do note that they have reached and secured the building by the time you're approaching Skull.
Can I tuck away in the back of the truck still as a courier and
Yeah.
look like I'm shut down?
Yeah.
Do you want me to
Sure.
roll a stealth or anything?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Might as well just to see what it's like. I'll give you advantage.
I have advantage on stealth already. It's
Yep,
my
but the
D6 move.
advantage
So.
is cumulative here, right? So
Okay.
you can actually add multiple dice.
I got a 2, but I
Okay.
will.
Yeah. So you just kind of look like you're just there, right? Remain still. and you pull up in front of Skull. So last, and again, I'm not pressuring you, Kai, but the mission chatter, it looks to you as if a secondary unit has arrived, and they'd be a tech unit.
Shit.
Praetorians have secured it.
I think possibly now that we're far enough away and we're on our way to like the drop-off point,
Yep.
I might actually log into that to see what it is that the techs are coming in to find, and if they find anything.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, something I want to tag on to that. Are any of the dogs still alive?
The dogs probably would have fought to the death, I'm guessing.
So like every single dog in that system that I hijacked.
That's right. The Praetorians would have been. They were well prepared. They were well armed. They did suffer. Again, the dogs are primarily equipped with non-lethal,
Right.
subdual things. So they gave them a good fight, but the Praetorians would have destroyed them, except for the one that you have.
Yeah.
Company is going out of business tomorrow.
I don't suppose there'd be any way to know if any of the dogs made it inside to the inner chambers where we were, like the operating room.
You want to gather up all the data streams for the dogs and kind of store it?
I had a different idea.
Oh, well, go ahead, describe it, and then you can make a roll.
So one of the things I was actually thinking of was as we were making our escape, having some of the dogs who were just kind of laying in wait rush in past the Praetorians, and kind of be in the operating room, and before the Praetorians got there, overloading themselves and blowing the place up. I know it's a little funny, so don't worry if it's not possible, but
yeah. Just because it's fairly complex, and you have to do it relatively quickly, and the dogs are probably not designed to blow up, but you'd have to engineer them to blow up. I think I will give you a chance, but you're gonna. This would be data engineering because you're actually creating. You're not just hacking a system; you're creating a new system, a new program. So give me data engineering and let me know what you get. Just so you know, I'm probably looking for like a 1 or a 2.
I rolled a 2.
Oh, a 2, okay. So I will say in the chaos, the dogs, so you don't know the full extent, but the dogs can cause damage to the lab.
Okay.
They generally cause chaos. The Protectorate is not happy. Kai, if you want to log in, go ahead. And give me what kind of role would this be? I was thinking it is probably data stuff. I know that you're probably not great at that, but I don't see anything else that would be appropriate. So, but I won't make it over. You're not trying to do anything. You're just kind of joining the conversation, right?
Yeah, I'm just like listening in.
So it would be digital networking.
Okay.
So give me a roll. Let me know.
Oh, I rolled a 2.
Oh,
under 30.
okay. So you kind of log into the system. So 2. So it's 2 pieces of information. All right. So you can. What kind of things do you want to try to pick up? I'll tell you. Here's what I'll give you. There's three bands of communication. One, which is the CTAC team, the Praetorians. The second is the technician team who've come in, and the third are the observers. So this would be the White House, right? The people sitting in the Situation Room just watching this go down. You got 2 successes, so I'll let you get information from only 2 out of those 3. Which 2 would you like to pick?
I'll take the technicians first,
Yeah.
and let's go with the observers.
The observers. Okay. All right. So the technicians first. The technicians are there to secure the AI. You can pick up that the AI is known to them, but not necessarily an asset. But you do get the sense that the AI has gone a bit rogue. But there is a familiarity with it. So the technicians are absolutely there to secure it and to secure all of the research. You will find out by listening to it, their job has been made much more difficult because the place is a shambles. So they're mostly complaining about, basically complaining about IT stuff, right? Like, oh my God, look at this mess. We're gonna have to work all night trying to piece this back together. And one of them will be like, it's frozen inside the cryo chamber. Who would have done this type thing? But that's not their job to figure that out. In terms of the actual observers, the channel, you've probably been familiar with the channel maybe 1 or 2 times in your career. The observers are from Protectorate headquarters. This is essentially the President of the United States watching this go down. And there is an exchange. Unfortunately, this is fairly meaningful, but not necessarily for you. But one of the people talking on the chat is the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. You just saw a news broadcast with her before you left on this mission, talking about an explosion at the Commerce Guild. Just let me find images here. So we'll tell. Oh no, you didn't go into the Praetorians, so that I won't give you any information on that.
Okay. I got what I needed.
All right, I'm going to drag you guys over here just for a second, but again, unfortunately only you are witnessing this. However, this can give Luca something to look forward to in the future. The head of the CTAC unit is debriefing the operations room. She doesn't really have it. Basically, you can see you basically can observe the Deputy Secretary General of the UN, Azmira Khan, is essentially. So what exactly happened? We don't know. The security dogs turned against us. I suspect that maybe the AI must have infiltrated the security systems in the surrounding area. The tech teams are going to do a forensic analysis, see if we can track down who is responsible. Disappointing, she'll say, and she will log off. And what you can hear just before the CTAC commander logs off is kind of under her breath. She goes, "Yeah, I know, Mother," she'll say, and she disappears.
How audible is that? Is Repo's the only one hearing this, or is this on a news
Yeah, well,
broadcast?
it's on his Oni.
All right.
He has the information. Unfortunately, this is something which, I wish you were listening to, but he might decide to share that. You know what? The Undersecretary General, which you know who that is, and her daughter were involved in this operation.
Some good news for you. The technicians don't know we were there before the breach happened. But they're running a forensic analysis of the area now. Pierce, Is there anything that can tie you back to this?
I'm pretty clean.
None of us were injured on site, so looks like we got off scot-free.
There is
Well,
going to be one.
I'm gonna have to abandon a safe house.
Aekira goes, there is one potential problem. And I don't know if it's a problem. It's a potential problem. They're going to find Miriam Bancroft splattered all over that lab. That's going to lead them to...
Little Miss Corporate, who knows where one of my houses is.
Well, actually, I think that's probably going to lead them to the Bancrofts, which might involve Psychosec, which will eventually lead them to... That sleeve's going to have an ID. It's going to lead them to Sculpt.
That's Sculpt's problem. We were hired to retrieve a sleeve. And we
You're
did
right.
Sure enough. However, Fade's right. 2Cal might be a liability in a bit.
Aekira goes, no, we're not talking about this. Come on.
I think we are.
But we are.
She's a loose end, Key. She's not a kid. She's an adult.
I have Pop-Tarts back at that house.
She's a kid.
I'm not doing this now.
Who, me?
2Cal knows who she's working for. 2Cal knows what she's doing. This isn't the same situation.
I think we just have to let it go. What will be, will be. Like you said, it's Sculpt's problem. And ultimately, we're doing this for...
Sculpt will have to explain why they contracted this many people to retrieve a sleeve and were given the instructions of retrieve it at all costs. That's not us. They can handle Calypso. They can handle the beef. And if it falls back on us, Cassiopeia can take it up with them.
Us? Okay, next
Fair
time we
enough.
get together, it's not at my place.
You said one of your houses. Don't you have... This means to imply that you perhaps have more?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, you said one of your houses.
I'm sorry.
Is
I
this
can't-
to imply that you have multiple houses?
Is he talking very quiet? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
She's fucking with you, Kai.
You arrive at Sculpt. You bring it in for, the truck in for a landing. They would have loading bays, like cargo doors, things like that. I guess I'll drag you all the way up to Sculpt.
You've got to speak up.
And as the cargo bay opens, Calypso Callie is waiting. She's got a big smile on her face. She thinks she's getting a promotion. And you can bring the truck in. And she's like, I can't believe you did it. I mean, this is so amazing. To be honest, I had my doubts. I had my serious doubts, but I was wrong. You proved me wrong.
You're backed up, right?
She's like, yeah, once a month.
Okay. That's probably good for you.
Yeah, she gives you kind of an odd. She doesn't quite get it. She's like, yeah, of course. One of the perks for working here.
Oh,
thank God. If
they
I got
keep your
hired,
backups?
She goes, yeah, it's a part. Comes with the job.
You should back
Enough.
up somewhere off site.
Enough, Fade. And Morgan's gonna like kick this
She's
like
gonna get
horrible
fired.
sleeve like down the ramp out of this truck, so it like
Mhm.
kind of rolls loosely at the bottom.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What happened to it? Where's its eyes?
I don't fucking know. But there's the sleeve, as we found it.
Oh,
Now pay us so we can get the fuck out of here.
I'll pick up the body and toss it to Fade. Fade, put your brother in Callie's car.
what? What
Huh?
about? You pick up what'd you? Sorry, Kai, I missed that.
I pick up the fuck sleeve and kind of like underhand toss it to Fade. Like,
Oh, okay.
put your brother in Callie's car.
Ew.
Well, okay, this is that sculpt. So Callie actually she brought down like a gurney, like a floating gurney to put it on. You can put it on that She has 2 gurneys actually, and she's like, and Miriam.
Oh, and she's gonna just hold up a plastic bag, like a really like one of those that says "thank you, thank you, thank you" across it, like the shopping bags.
Yeah.
It's just like random bloody pieces. It's probably dripping.
She takes it. She's like, oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, there's more of her back there. They're probably gonna trace it back to you.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay.
Back up
I'll,
offsite.
I'll send a note to HR in the morning.
That
Oh.
seems like a terrible idea. And she's
It
just
makes
gonna
you-
walk away.
If it makes you feel any better, that thing was inhabited by something weird. You could always just say it was stolen.
Oh,
Have the
okay.
techs look at it. They'll find something.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So yeah. Okay. That's a good thought. All right. I'm okay. I'm going to put this in my desk. She'll walk. She kind of walks over. She'll set she has the big gurney. She sets the bag on one and the other sleeves on the other. She goes, well, it's unfortunate you couldn't get it intact, but there's enough that I think we can rebuild it. So so Roman Volkov will get his sleeve back. Thank you.
Great. Awesome.
I don't have authority to release the funds, but I'll.
What the fuck?
Well, she goes, oh, they'll be released within the hour. I just have to send the request through to finance.
Okay. And
Which
have you?
can do
Oh,
now?
sorry. Yeah, I can do that. I just set this down. And they don't work evenings. This is the middle of the night, but they'll get to it.
Oh, they don't
them.
work evenings. I'm going to need you to make them work evenings because I've been through hell and back retrieving that hunk of shit, and you are going to pay me now.
She has a nursery to remodel.
All right, I'll just take it out of my expense account. I'll just fill out the forms with finance later and try to rationalize and explain this. Well, I'm going to go over my limit, but I guess that's okay.
Yeah, that is okay.
And she will transfer the funds that were required automatically. I think what was it, 10% get taken off for Cassiopeia, and the job is done.
How much was that exactly? Because I know there was a stipulation of extra money if it came back intact.
That's right. Yeah, which it did not. But you've all. Let me just check my notes here.
I don't know. I feel like it was pretty intact.
It was
Doesn't have eyes, Ty. Come on.
Fine.
Doesn't have lungs either, or stomach.
20,000
Heart.
untraceable credits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, untraceable?
Untraceable. Yeah. So well, actually, this is a bit awkward. So normally, Cassiopeia would get paid, and then you guys would get paid. But Callie and her being flustered, she has just paid. She has just sent payment to all of you directly. Now, technically, if the finance thing is still sent through, then finance would then pay Cassiopeia, and then Callie would be on the hook for overspending her expense account by like 80,000 credits. So these, unfortunately, are traceable credits. The untraceable credits would come through Cassiopeia after she launders them.
100,000 credits.
Well, that's how much she pays in total. But you have to. Sorry, it's 80,000. That's and you
If
20.
if Morgan like knew that these were traceable credits, she'd say no.
Oh,
Get on the phone with finance, tell them it's a fucking emergency, and do it right. Any job worth doing is worth doing right. Isn't that right, sweetie?
I will get on. I'm on there. Yeah. I know it's late. We need to send someone down or get someone at the computer. We need to process an invoice. Okay, great. I will see you. I will see you later. If somebody wants to make, you've all been kind of doing a pretty good job just role-playing intimidation. However, if somebody wants to make, who has been speaking, wants to make an intimidation roll, if they succeed, Callie will forget that she'll forget to undo the transaction of her money and also send the request through Find.
Yeah, no, I'll 100% roll that because Morgan's been a real piece of shit. Yep, that's a 4 for a 5.
Okay. So she goes off and she goes, okay, the transfer will be made to the Diamond Nexus in the hour. Is that
Great.
fair? Good? Okay. All right.
Yes, that's
Oh.
great.
Oh, all right. I think I need a drink. She just starts walking and the 2 trolleys will follow behind. She stops.
Back up.
Back up. Yeah, you're okay. And Callisto Callie disappears through a door, and you have your cash. Well, you have 20,000 traceable credits, and you have 20,000 untraceable credits. Aekira goes, anyone hungry? Like, you have something to eat?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go eat. It's time for breakfast.
Unless, of course, she turns to you, Morrigan. She's unless, of course, you can't stand us for another couple hours.
Until Calypso gets paid, we're stuck together.
All right. I guess we'll try to head to that diner.
Yeah, why not?
All
It's
right.
been a little while.
Should we take a different car?
You can just leave. You can just call a share car again, and just leave this truck parked here in the loading bay. Another problem for Callisto Callie to deal with in the morning.
Yeah, that's something I would do for sure.
All right. You pull up outside of the diner. And of course, when you walk in, JP. So this is the same diner as last time. I didn't have a picture or an AI proprietor, but I do now.
Woohoo!
And as he goes in, he goes, "Oh, I am so honored. I mean, such a late hour, and to be graced with your presence. Of course, please have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat." And he'll menus, and he goes, and he'll actually say, he goes, "I would offer your friends a mimosa, Miss Fade, but I can see they are already completely intoxicated by your charms, and it is not necessary."
And this one doesn't drink anyways. She can't right now. But the rest can have mimosas. I think that would be fun. Can I get some eggs?
Of course, well, you will note, Miss Fade, that there is a new menu item. It is called Phaedra's Special. See, it includes all of your favorite things.
Fade is just beaming. She just
One Phaedra Special coming right
Yes.
up. And what can I
Yes,
get the
please.
rest of?
Whiskey.
Of course. And you, sir.
Eggs and bakey,
All right.
all
Are
of
you
it.
sure that's a good idea, Morrigan? Your condition?
For the last, if my condition, if by my condition, Fade, you mean being completely and totally done with your manic bullshit, then yeah, I think whiskey's exactly what I need. And I'm gonna need you to hear me right fucking now. Drop the pregnant bullshit, or else.
She's not gonna keep it, dearie.
Oh,
I'll take a
okay.
milkshake.
Milkshake coming up. Your friends are rather rude. He'll say to you, Fade.
no.
And when he gets to Aekira, Akira's like, "Well, I'll have the Phaedra Special too. Sounds good." He goes, oh no, I'm sorry. But that item is exclusive to my VIP clientele only, of which there is only one.
It's just me.
Well, okay, bacon and eggs. She'll say, as he will, your orders are coming right up, and he will
Wakey, wakey.
disappear. And Aekira looks at you, Fade, and she goes, You know AI obsession is a thing, right? Typically not healthy.
Well, I seem healthy enough.
I suppose. So the mimosas, he'll return with the remote mimosas. This will be the last time I take it up with. I have so many of these written. He arrives back with the mimosas, and he'll say, "Here we go, mimosas, special to delivery." And he goes, "Today, I will be replacing the Synth Orange Extract, batch number 72144A, with a real orange." And he'll take it out and put it on the table just for you. So he makes your mimosa out of it, and then he tosses the orange, and then he pulls up a bottle, and he goes, "I'm afraid the rest of you will have to settle for batch number 72144B, but he'll pour that around, and he goes, 'Enjoy,' and he'll head off back." Aekira shakes her head.
This is an odd diner.
Morrigan
Fade is just
drains
gonna,
her glass.
while maintaining eye contact, also drain her glass while like through a straw, and then just set it down, grinning.
JP, there's another glass in front of you before you even notice it. And with you, Morrigan, he goes, "I knew you looked like a heavy drinker," and he'll put it back down, and then head back to the kitchen to put together his meager spoil. And at this point, Kai, so that chat, that mission chat is gone. It's now just kind of this background feed that's going, and an active mission has just come online, and it's not sitting it's not just like something that's happening. It's kind of an active mission log, and it's in your inbox, the inbox that the user of this account would have.
I'm gonna leave it. I want to leave it unread until it's been read, and then I'll go back and read what the mission log was.
Yeah, it will never be read. It's in your inbox. If you don't read it, nobody will.
I'm trying to see if anybody else has access to this account.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
Like if I'm logged in as a mistake.
Yep.
So I'm gonna wait a little while.
Okay.
I'll give it like 20-30 minutes.
Okay.
While I'm eating my eggs and bacon.
Breakfast comes out. Drinks continue to be poured, and the time goes by. Nobody reads it in 20 or 30 minutes. JP is very, very. The service is a 10 out of 10 for Phaedra, a 7 out of 10 for the rest. And she is loving it.
Morrigan.
What?
Now, I do have a question. I'm not entirely convinced, like compatriots here, that you are pregnant. However, the question did come up that something was amiss, and I did have my eye out along the battlefield there for most of it. And I have to ask, do you know that person?
No, I've never fucking seen her in my life.
We seem to know you, says Aekira. And you sound pretty defensive. I know, it's none of our business.
I'm just curious.
Just curious. Just wondering about intimate details of another person's life. Let me ask you something. How about you tell me why the fuck you're so nosy?
Well, curiosity. One.
You're able to hack fucking systems like it's nobody's business. Able to reprogram security systems on a whim. What the fuck's your deal?
What is my deal? Go into your Oni. Go to the Protectorate database. And look up Saren Pierce.
Why would I do that? Why can't you just fucking tell me? As she like activates her Oni and immediately starts doing it.
Yeah, Fade's doing the same. Well, she's
Okay.
just like very clearly watching this conversation, just looking between them both.
As you navigate throughout your Oni, you find a profile of the man that is sitting in front of you. Face, identity, all of that. And under status, it says deceased. Under cause of death, ruptured stack.
Yeah, just to clarify, the face would be different because that would have been you, right?
Oh yes, sorry.
The sleeve was different, but Saren Pierce, the DHF, was RD'd 6 months ago. RD for real death.
Great. So you're some kind of fucking ghost.
I don't know what I am, Morgan.
You implanted the information in the system yourself?
No. 6 months ago, I was a data engineer. And while I was on a job, I was shot in the back of the head. And then I woke up in this body.
You had a backup.
Yes, a backup that I did not create.
Why
Why-
did this person create one?
Well, this is my father.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Wow. Looks like your
Good
father.
on you.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
So
my deal.
So Aekira will say, so who is he?
I don't know.
That's
I don't-
fucked up, mate.
I never knew my father.
Yeah, my father was a prick, she'll say. I don't mind saying it.
Fade's gonna look at Morgan. That was a really good redirect.
Listen, like,
Why the fuck do any of you care? Why do any of you fucking care? Because once Cassiopeia confirms that she got payment, and once those credits hit our accounts, we're never gonna have to see each other again. And so while I appreciate Saren's little Sherry touchy-feely moments about his trauma with his dad, and that's gotta be weird fucking people in your dad's sleeve, listen, like, I don't understand why it matters.
did you need a team, says Aekira.
And there's nothing really good on the feeds right now.
She goes, listen, like it or not, there could be some fallout from this. I'd say we should keep each other on speed dial just in case, even if it is just to warn the others that
Right.
that's something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great. And the less we know about each other, the easier it'll be when the fucking when they come to find us and we don't rat each other out.
If they want to find you, Morrigan, they're going to find you, unless you're an expert at living off the grid. But just know, if they do come looking for you, and you need backup, I'll be there. You're pretty good to have in a stressful situation. I, for one, was impressed. I'd do another job with you again. I know the feeling's not mutual. And I don't say that lightly. Right, Kai?
That's true. Maybe we'll do another one after you've had your child. Calm down. Calm down. It's called a
I
fanny.
thought she wasn't keeping it.
It's a joke, Faye. I was being... Look. whatever your situation is, child or no child, it's no worse than every time you shower, you have to wash your dad's dick.
Kind of weird.
No offense, Pierce. Well, some offense. Minor offense, Pierce.
So
But it's to make her feel better, so run with it, why don't you?
the money from Cassiopeia comes through. Each of your accounts gets 20,000. It is completely up to each of you individually whether you reject Calypso Cowley's transfer of 20,000, which would make her account whole, or whether you accept it, in which case she can't take it back.
I accept it.
Morgan would reject Callie's payment.
Okay.
But she wouldn't like make a scene about it. She'd just kind of flip through her Oni and just refund it back.
Okay.
I see it as payment for having to give up a house.
Okay. All right. Do you
Yeah, Pierce is going to reject it as well.
okay. And Kai?
Guy's gonna pay for everything he eats and drinks with those traceable credits, and then refund the remainder.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. You'd also notice that mission notification has gone unchecked.
Yeah, I'll read it at that point.
Okay. You actually see that it's it's an actual assignment. Apparently, there is a known terrorist assassin. His name is Castor Nishi. He's been identified as being in Bay City, and they've intercepted a communication between him and a client. They know his target, and they know when it's going to go down. He's hitting the daughters of a member of the Bay City Board of Supervisors, in particular the supervisor in charge of the Golden Gate project. So in Altered Carbon, the Golden Gate Bridge is actually, people don't drive cars across it anymore because cars can fly. It is actually kind of a shanty town. So it's literally buildings have been built over it. So this guy, the supervisor, is in charge of that kind of district. And the assassin is going to take out his two kids, they're girls, Elaine and Alicia Palmer. His name is Kellen Palmer. And the intelligence reports that this assassin is going to take out these two kids tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock when he drops them off. For lessons. They're taking out the kids. They're not taking out him. This mission will go unfulfilled because no one but you is checking this box. The mission would be terminate Castor Nation with extreme prejudice.
So, Castor Nietzsche.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, they can all probably know you're a bit distracted, or you've gone silent.
Can I tell if Castor, he's the city supervisor in Golden Gate, right?
No, Kellen Palmer is the supervisor. The two daughters are Elaine and Alicia Palmer, age 9 and 11. And the assassin, his name is Castor Nishi. He's an outsider. He's come in from, we'll say he's been brought in. He doesn't normally operate in Bay City, but he was on their watch list, so they picked him up.
So Castor Nishi is an assassin who's receiving assassin orders from CTAC.
No. You're sorry. That was confusing. So whoever is running this account doesn't realize that you are not an operative.
Right. But it was intended for an assassin, right?
They're tasking you to take, you or who would be normally using this account. An intelligence agent just tasked you to take out Castor Nishi before he can assassinate these two girls.
Oh, before he can assassinate Elaine and Alicia. Okay.
Yeah. This is the backpack item.
And these aren't mercenary jobs. So they don't come with like a price tag or anything like that on them.
Well, you've got that big account. Essentially, it would be understood based on your previous experience that you can use the fund. It's at your discretion to use the funds in that other account to accomplish missions. Aekira goes, something wrong, Kai? You're not chewing someone out.
Yeah. I've got I've got a tip on another job, but you all wouldn't be interested in that, would you?
What's it
What's
pay?
it pay?
Jinx! You owe me a chocolate bar.
$50,000 each, untraceable.
Are you serious? This guy.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Aekira's like, I know the people who hire you. Nobody's throwing around that much money.
I'm bankrolling this one.
What the
Can
fuck
I
that's supposed
have
to mean?
Morrigan's share since she never wants to see us again?
Shut the fuck up, Fade.
Aekira,
What do you mean?
Aekira is just complete. She's looking at you like she's just met you for the first time.
I'll transfer the details to her Oni.
She's like, "Where'd you get this?" Never mind. 50,000. You know I do it. You know you don't need to pay me.
No, I figured once you saw the job that you'd do it for free, but
Can I have her share?
She goes, "No, you can't have my share." 50,000. That's twice. That's more than twice as much as we're getting paid. That we got paid to recover this sleeve.
right. Don't worry about it.
How you got that kind of cash?
I do a lot of jobs.
That many jobs? Hardly leaves a man time to sleep.
I've been around a long time.
What's the fucking job?
Save 2 little girls.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
mean,
possible bad man.
Well, I'm in for 50K.
untraceable. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
What about you, Pierce? You and your daddy's body gonna come?
Why not?
And to show you I'm a man of my word, I'll pay you half now, half when the job's done.
What did you do with Kai? All right.
They're skittish. They need a little cheese before they walk into the trap.
These girls must be pretty important. All right.
I'm game.
Let's do this.
Morgan will look like purposely across the table at Rhodes over her like multiple empty like alcoholic beverage glasses that I'm assuming the AI is like purposely not clearing away because he's just taking care of Fade, like kind of a deal. And she'll just look at him.
Of course, he'll come over and he'll start to gather up, clean up the stuff. And he's like, I must tell you, Miss Fade, that roses are red, violets are blue. Having one VIP guest is amazing. It's much better than 2. He will say as he looks at Morrigan and then looks back at you. And he'll clean up all the items. And will that be all?
You really think that I'm all that special, Rhodes?
I think there's something you're not telling us, and now the story has my interest. Kira dug up the bone. I want to chew.
Well, I hate to disappoint, but there's not much there. But I'll take your credits anyways. and she'll drain the beverage in front of her and kind of slam it down and look at Pierce. Some of us just don't fucking know what happened.
All right, this is happening in 6 hours, so we meet up an hour before it goes down.
Hold on. We've only got one answer so far.
Oh. Who else is in?
I'm in.
I'm in.
6 hours here.
All right.
I'll take 75,000 credits
Okay.
out of the CTAC account and distribute it evenly amongst the three of them.
Okay. You each got your 25,000 credits. Untraceable. Just sent over. Just like that. Kai is a man of his words. And now that it's happened, Aekira is especially giving you like the side eye. She's like, all right, well, I guess we'll get a few hours shut eye and see you in the morning.
6 hours.
6 hours. So she, I guess you'd be walking, you'd be traveling with her, Kai, since you both live in the same apartment building. As soon as you get outside, she's like, "What is going on? Where'd you get that
No.
kind of cash? And why spend it on this?"
Would you believe I don't know, but I'm bound to find out.
Have you ever heard the proverb about spending other people's money? It's going to come back and they're going to come to collect.
I never read Confucius. Tax
what-
8.
So, and she goes, "So this job comes from the same place?"
Sure. I mean, you can read the email headers on the message I sent you. They're deleted, so likely this comes from some sort of blops department, which is fine by me. They've got an account that seems bottomless that I can draw from.
You let her know that it's, yeah, you basically share that it's essentially Protectorate CTAC channels.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, this is the Black Ops channel.
Well said. Blops.
All right, she gets in and you can head back to the apartment. And where does everybody else go? Just as a time check, we're at I guess 12:20 mine time. Are you good to go? We'll do a couple of individual things during that 6 hours, and then we'll wrap up. Is that good
Fine
Yep.
with me.
for people? Okay.
I'll go first because I'm actually gonna tie someone else in. Morrigan will unceremoniously just get up from the table and walk out. As she does, she'll flip off the AI as she moves out wordlessly. And like shortly after she leaves, Saren will get a ping on his communication device that just instructs him to meet her at a park or just kind of a local area that's out and quiet in a nicer neighborhood. And she'll send like the Google coordinates to meet there. I don't know if he chooses to follow them, but it'll just say here 30 minutes.
Do you show up, Pierce?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
When he arrives, Morrigan will be sitting on a bench, and he'll notice that she's kind of tapping her fingers rhythmically as she waits, and she'll see him walk up, and as he approaches, she'll just call out, "Is everything you said in that diner true?"
More or less.
You were able to hack that system I need to figure out what the fuck that AI was.
What it was. What do you mean?
What it is.
Is it not just a deranged AI to you?
I don't. It could be. But I don't know yet. I mean, you seem capable enough and you seem quiet enough. And I hate to admit it, but I could use some help.
Well, I don't know if 6 hours will be enough, but I certainly have time. And I can only do so much in my own goals without things progressing. So
I need to know what that thing is and what it wants. That girl, that woman that fell out of there, I need to find out who the fuck she is too.
well, my Oni records all. So we can figure it out.
Great. And like unceremoniously 50,000 credits will be pinged over to Saren's account, untraceable, as she just kind of stands up. Appreciate it. I'll see you in the morning. And she'll start walking away.
Okay. Saren. People throwing around a lot of cash.
Saren looks at the money for a few minutes and then rejects it.
Okay. All right. So you can head home. Because might as well we'll go around. So you can head back to your safe house, which I actually have in Roll20 now.
Hey, look at that.
Pierce's safe house. There we go. So basically, you can head in there. It's a kind of a workshop. It's got stuff everywhere. There's of course the cryo storage for that the sleeve was in, and you know, you think about sleeping, then you also think about that deck. I didn't give you a roll yet tonight.
I know. I'm not. There's no way I can sleep. So I think Pierce is going to.
But you now have two conflicting tasks. You have Morrigan's request, which might take a bit more involved because you know that whatever data is on site has now been seized by the Protectorate. That's not going to be an easy thing to crack. You can crack. It's possible, but it might be easier with an AI under your.
That's the thought. That's the thought. To stay up and partially to get him in the mindset for what he's going to do, Pierce is going to pop his speed neurochem.
Okay.
Just kind of hardwire himself a little bit, and he's gonna go to work.
Do you have any bonuses from chat at all?
Oh geez, I don't know. Probably not. Let's see. I don't think so.
Okay. Because
but we did establish that if I have additional speed dice, I can use it for advantage, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And the speed neurochem gives me a speed dice.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not entering combat or anything, so I'm not going to roll my.
Oh, but the neurochem, that's good. That'll give you all that a bonus die for that. You're going to need to roll a 2.
Yeah.
Your base is a 2 or less. So last time it was 1. Every session it will go up 1. If you have any talents which adds to it, you can add to it.
Unfortunately,
Chat just gave you a minus
2.
Oh, so that's now no longer a 2. That's now a 4. Oh, sorry. Is that a penalty or a bonus?
It was a positive
minus.
thing for him. So like,
Oh, yeah.
moving to from the.
Yeah. I was gonna say that'd be really mean if it was a negative. It'd be like,
I need a 0.
So now,
I can also. Where is that? I know I have something. This isn't like making repairs or anything. It's like tracking into the
That's right.
network, right?
So it's digital networking. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I need a 4 or less.
And you get a bonus. So you got a bonus die. Yeah. You need a 4 or less. And don't forget, you can spend stack points. Now, mind you, it doesn't give you an automatic success as if you've made the roll. How that
Right.
works is if you failed by 2, you would need to spend 2 stack points to get it.
Well,
Basically, moving the number down.
thankfully I rolled a 1. So
Oh, God, you rolled a 1. Thank you, chat.
yes, thank you, chat.
That was amazing. This was a pretty significant one. I wasn't sure when it was going to happen. I'm going like, where is my? I have so many friggin' windows here. Yeah. So you bypass the the security clearance, and get access to the deck. Okay, I'm just, you know what? I can't seem to see it here. I'm just loading it again. It'll take literally 10 seconds, but it's important. Yeah, that is so weird. Okay, duplicate. Okay, so what I'll do is, as this is loading in, I will just describe to you what happens. Essentially, when you appear, sorry, yeah, you don't appear yet. Here's what you find. So you have access to the deck. There is an AI program at present. It is currently contained in a VR simulator that was not of its own construction.
Contained in a VR simulator.
You can of course enter it if you wish.
Yeah, let's enter.
Or you can shut it down, which would release the AI. But do you want to? Oh, what's so funny? I have the picture buried underneath the image of your safe house.
Very good. No, I'm not gonna shut it down because
I'm gonna move you off for a second because I want to check them.
yeah, it's not JP.
No.
Please no.
That's just temporary. That's just temporary.
No, I'm not gonna shut it down because if it's malicious at all, I don't want it out and about.
Yeah. So I'll move you back here. You put on the VR headset, and when you enter, you are in a forest which is ash and fire. It has been the target of what would appear to have been an orbital strike. Yeah, it's you can probably tell. I would say, a lot of worlds are generally known. You can probably tell from the kind of the dancing eldritch blue light that goes across the sky periodically. You're standing on Harlan's world.
What?
Somewhere through the smoke, you see someone waiting, or you see a figure. They've got their back towards you. They're kind of, you don't know. They're just standing in and amongst all of this.
I'm not affected by the smoke or fire or anything like that. No.
You know what? You can feel it, but so typically, just for you guys knowing game rules, in order to stuff in VR is real, but you can make a discipline roll because it's not really real to ignore it. You can walk through this no problem, but you don't feel like you want to get too close to the flame.
Wow.
You do see in and amongst the ashes are bodies. You can't make out anything about them.
Hello.
And as soon as you say that, the actual flames, everything just instantly changes, almost as if you snap, and you're suddenly standing on Harlan's world, looking out. You can see the lights of the cities in the distance, the twin moons, a nice shimmering lake, and the person will turn around, and the first words out of her mouth. Here's a very important question. How do you appear in VR? Because that's up to you.
Probably my original body.
So not Nathan Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
So she turns, she looks at you, and gives a curious look, as if like trying to process who you are, why you're here, and what she will say is she goes, "You're not Daddy," and that's where we'll end for you tonight. As we switch over, unless there's any last minute thing you want to say.
No.
All right, that's a good spot to end. All right. So Kai, you can head back to your apartment.
I'm gonna take a detour actually.
Okay.
I want to head to like a munitions department and grab a couple of things.
There's probably a 24/7 automated vendor or something around.
Yeah, I want to grab a couple of squeeze pistols.
Okay.
For people.
Yeah.
I also want to grab myself a hammer.
Okay.
And I'd like to set my hammer and my pistol with a couple of augmentations on my mill sleeve. Specifically mag plating and gene map security.
Okay. All right. So you can catch. I'll send you in Discord how much it costs.
Cool. And whatever the cost is, I'm just gonna. I will spend my 20,000 first.
Okay.
And then the rest I'll drain from the account.
Okay. All right. And untraced, yeah, you gave back Callie's, so all untraceable credit. So this transaction, there's no identity recorded.
Yeah, I'll grab 3 squeeze pistols, a hammer, and then the augmentations for my weapons only.
And Aekira hasn't taken her eyes off you since you've left Spadina. Yeah, she's trying to figure you out. She'll buy a couple of things, and then you can head back to the apartment. And she goes, when you get to your door, she's like, "You left, right? You didn't lie to me."
As far as I know, I'm out. This is apparently still a mill sleeve.
As far as someone is concerned, you're not.
Well, as far as someone is concerned, I don't exist. Otherwise, they'd go through the normal channels to get me on board.
Do you ever think that maybe this is a test?
Could be.
Drop this mission out there, see if you'll do it.
Well, if they leave access to the account, I can't say that I'll complain. But it seems to be a mission of altruism. It's one that I'll take.
Now it is, Kai. Now it is. But if it is CTAC, if it is the Protectorate, one day you're saving little girls from being assassinated. Tomorrow you're assassinating world leaders, right?
I'm not willing to put my neck out on that much of a line.
You won't notice. They'll change the mission specs by degrees. That's how they operate.
Well, I leave it to you to keep me on track.
I can't go back to CTAC. I can't. And she's literally, and you can see she will have a seizure right there in the hallway.
All right. Before she collapses, I'll like grab her and like lay her down, and I've got like my leather that I take out for when she has these attacks, and I'll make sure she's biting down on it. Okay.
And you don't know why they occur, but you can. She typically falls unconscious afterwards, so you can take her in into your apartment, put her on the couch, and try and get some shut eye yourself. And finally, Phaedra, you go home to your apartment.
Yes, I would finish off with an ice cream sundae, and then I would tip 40%, and then head home to a different house.
Okay.
But first, I would find the most seedy kind of internet cafe type of place.
Yeah.
That like I would know just from my own personal history doesn't have any sort of logging or cameras there.
Yep.
And I would log onto one of the systems there, and I would try and spend some time just browsing around the net, looking for information on this elder artifact I have, as
Okay.
well as the musical artist that we heard the music from, and trying to figure out what that meant by in music all are one.
Okay. So
And since I memorized the lyrics, I'm sure I'd be like plugging in what I thought were like key
that's right.
phrases.
You can give me an investigation roll. How about that?
Sweet. Okay. D8. Nice. Okay. Huh? I got a 3. I have a 3. So no degrees of success other than I just made it.
You get to pick. You can. So of all your questions, you get to pick one of them. What would you like?
Okay. Order of operations. I'm going to spend. I'm gonna deal with the elder artifact first, since I've had that the longest.
So you can get onto some elder artifact chat, kind of chats as rooms, VR things. There's probably tons of discussions. The artifact that you have, you probably don't get a lot of details as to its purpose, because there's not a lot of it. Not a lot is known about them in terms of what they do. But what I will give you is two things. One is I will give you someone who would be willing to buy it for quite a bit of money. I'd be saying I would probably it would be up to you to negotiate it, but I would say opening bid would be $1 million they'd be willing to pay. Whether you can get them up from that is to be determined. The other thing that you can find, and this would be something that we would do in a future session, you can find an expert on elder artifacts that you can pay to analyze it.
Okay, how much could I pay? How much does an appraiser of elder artifacts or some sort of authority on it?
Yeah, they're not cheap because they're rare. So you'd be looking at, again, you can try and make rolls to negotiate it down, but just to appraise it would be about 10,000 credits. To do a full analysis, 40.
Okay.
Or you could just kidnap them and force them. No, joking.
You joke, but okay. That's what she would spend her evening or morning doing.
Not quite. You're kind of messing around. You're about to turn to Sonata. You're listening to Sonata right now, the music, trying to go through it, when someone comes in and puts a hand on your shoulder.
Okay, I'm gonna look up, and who is it?
Wyatt.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm gonna act really shocked at first, and then just kind of whip around, and then see that it's Wyatt. And I'm gonna try and put on my best I'm doing fine out on my own air.
He goes,
Be like, hi, Wyatt.
you got a minute?
Yes.
Let's go. Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay. She'll stand up and go with him.
He gets out and he'll drive to your nearest place that he would know of. So whether that's the existing one or another one.
No, there's another one. I think
You'll
we
get-
established I had 4 ready to go.
Yep. He goes, you got anything to drink up there?
I got some like mix that you can put in water.
He'll he has a vehicle that he uses. He'll open up a compartment, pull out a bottle, and get out and walk up to your apartment. He'll pour some drinks. Got any ice?
No.
He'll just put it on the rocks then, or not on the rocks. Sorry, that's
She's
with
gonna open up her tiny little like fridge freezer like combo unit and just use her blade to kind of chip away some of the frost that's built up on the edges and like hand it to him.
He takes a sip, stares at his glass, and then he violently throws it against the wall. He smashes, and he'll take his hand. He'll like the bottle. He'll actually take that and like just kind of almost kind of brushes you whatever's on your table. He smashes that. He smashes that off, and he goes, "What the fuck did I tell you about Gage?" He goes, "I said not to make a
handled
move.
it.
I said not to make a move on it." And here I
He
hear
was right there.
he had his stack cut out of in front of the fight drone. He
But
goes,
he was
3 bystanders. Jesus, he goes, Fade. 3 bystanders got cut down in the crossfire.
he
Dozens
was
of
right there.
potential witnesses. You should have called me.
He was right there. He started
He
all his
was
bullshit talking about sheep again.
He was a patron of the fight drone. Him, 3 people standing in line. That's 4 sleeves down. You know Carnage's reputation. If he finds out who's responsible, he's going to put them in the pit against the most violent animal hybrids that he can grow in a lab.
I don't care, Wyatt. He was right there. He was talking about all his wolf sheep bullshit. He left us. He left us in that elevator to die. He cut the cable. He was right there and I ended it. He's gone now.
Should have dealt it.
Fuck him.
Where's his stack? Give me his stack.
No.
You know, Fade, I'm trying to protect you from this. He goes,
Well,
but Carnage isn't the worst of it.
you
Why?
told me to leave, Wyatt. You said that you couldn't protect me anymore, so I'm protecting myself now.
Yes, well, Gage didn't just come back to Bay City to go to the fight drone. He's joined Emil Van Doren's syndicate. He was a goddamn captain.
Well, he's not joined anything now. He's dead. He's gone.
You destroyed his stack?
She's gonna lie and say yes.
Well, Van Doren thinks someone is now making a move on his territory.
Well,
Do
what
you know
do
what
I
Van
care?
Doren did to the last person who he thought was making a move?
I'm not making a move. I have
listen,
my own jobs now, Wyatt. I'm doing it all on my own.
He tied them down and let hungry pigs eat their sleeve while they were alive. He then had his men sift through the pig shit until he found the stack and cycled the guy back up in VR, rebooted that memory, and put it on repeat. That guy, Fade, was his fucking brother.
I'm not making any
I can't
moves.
I can't protect you if he comes for you. I gotta go.
Fine.
Gage better be dead.
He's dead.
All right. Then we just have to hope that that there were no witnesses that can identify you. That crew you're with, you trust them?
No. They're not my crew.
Might have to deal. Then we might have to deal with them.
That's
Just-
fine.
And he will head. He will leave your apartment. How's Fader feeling?
She's gonna sit down and pull out the stack and set it on the table in front of her and just stare at it for like hours. And eventually, she's gonna take it out or pick it up and like put it in a safe, like a safety box for a minute, and then just kind of pace around her apartment and then go pull it back out and slash it with her blade.
All right. And that's where, unless there's anything else anyone would like to do, that's where we will end for tonight. As the blade comes down and Gage's stack is destroyed. Just so you two back, you have heard of Emil Van Doren. We got a picture here. Maybe you'll see that picture again in the future. Maybe. We'll see what the pink backpack has to say. All right. Thank you very much to chat, to everyone. Great session, you guys. Keeping me on my toes. I really have to think fast here. All kinds of ingenuity. So I'll bake in some extra bonus stack points for all of the great role playing and great and quick thinking and ingenuity. So I guess we'll sign out or sign off. So I guess we'll do it in how about reverse overlay order this time?
Ooh.
So I guess.
Does that mean it's me?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I am Tyrant. I played Saren Pierce, who has found his long lost sister apparently. So that's going to be very interesting come next session. You can find me and my this thing on Twitch and Twitter at Dr. Tyrant. I stream on my personal channel here and there. And I will also be back here tomorrow for the next episode of Harper Investigations, which is going to be extremely fun. The cast has been kind of shuffled around a little bit, and we're bringing in some new blood. So I'm excited to play with some new people.
And you're playing, are you playing the Loxodon tomorrow?
I am, yes.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I can honestly say I've never known anyone to play a Loxodon, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I had to look it up. I was like, Loxodon, what the?
Yeah, I missed playing like the large Minotaur Barbarian Gruff, so I decided to kind of go with that theme a little bit and be a large elephant man. But anyway, I will be here tomorrow night for Harper's, so come check that out. And then Wednesday, I will be streaming on my personal channel. And then I'll be taking the weekend off, just for, I don't want to do anything. And then back here on Monday, we start Roundhouse Omega, which is season 2 of Roundhouse, GM'd by the incredible DMF Saint. Season 2 Roundhouse Alpha, which is the other half of that over on Nat 20, will start this Thursday, so go check that out. Then come back on Monday for TBK's part, and check the calendar for all of our other incredible content coming up. Over to Sarah.
Hi, I'm Osarix Franco, and I played Morrigan. And it's a lot of fun to just be really cranky all the time. If you like my face and the words I say sometimes, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Osarix Franco. As for what I've got going on, catch me over at Nat 20 on Thursday for Roundhouse Alpha, where I will be playing Saoirse from the Chosen Playbook. You can then catch me on Sunday in Morningstar and Company, also on Nat 20. We are rounding out the season 2 of Morningstar and Company, so we're hitting our narrative beats, and I'm very, very excited. Then I'm back here a week from today for Roundhouse Omega, where we will introduce a new character. What could it possibly be? I'm very excited. There might be some personal streams in there in the in-between. Who knows? I don't know. But then on the 22nd, I know that's a ways out, but bear with me. The 22nd, we've got Curse of Strahd Dark Echoes. In the morning, I'll stream in the inner betweens with my good friend Bright here. We're working through Divinity Original Sin 2 and having a fucking fantastic time doing it. And then that evening, it is, in fact, the next session of the Bard's Refrain, which is a D&D campaign homebrew that I GM, and I'm joined by a cast of incredible players. So come check that out. It'll be a really fun time. The players are starting to get into some like deep lore end game bullshit, and I'm very excited. So that's gonna do it for me. Passing it over to Luca.
Hi, I'm Lukalak. I played Fade, or Phaedra Esmera, today, and I'm ready to go. I have to hold a lot of tension in my body when I play her. I'm just gonna go shake it all out. But you can catch me tomorrow running Harper Investigations, and then a week from today, I get to play in the premiere of Roundhouse Omega, and then I get to play in Beyond the Undergrowth, and then I run Dark Echoes on the 22nd, and I get to play and cry a whole bunch as usual in Bard's Refrain that evening, and then we're back here again on the 24th. So it just starts over again. And that's me, and where you can find me. On you, Bright.
Oh, hi, I'm Bright Dystopia, and you can find me on all forms of social media under Bright Dystopia. For anyone who doesn't know me, I am a JGD ambassador, voice actor, and variety streamer on Twitch. You can find me here every Monday with these wonderful people. Every other Monday, I will be doing my recharge, so I can do this again. Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can find me on my channel streaming my own stuff, doing stupid things. Sometimes I do stupid things with Sarah, and she tolerates it, and I love it. You can find me.
It's so fun. It's so fun. It's so fun.
On the 19th, I will be on the Weave the Tale channel, playing a game of what's it called? Shadows Over Soul, a sci-fi horror TTRPG. So come join me over there. I will be playing some really fun people, and I love them very much. Until the next time, that's really all I'm about. So I will throw it over to Zool, because there are no DMs. There are only Zool.
Thank you, Bright. And thanks again, chat, for tuning in. We'll be back here in 2 weeks. If you missed the first episode, you can catch that on YouTube. And I just want to remind you that, so we have actually completed the first mission, the sleeve. We haven't quite started the second one yet, but all of my GM notes, so that's my detailed notes, photo, pics, those are going to be going up on TPK Patreon. So if you're not a Patreon and you want to get access to all of this information so you can run it yourself, that's going to be available in the next couple of days. Yeah, that's it. Geez, I just realized this is Alter Carbon. That's the main thing I'm doing. I do like one shots, so I might have to reach out and try and sneak in a few one shots over the next month or so, whenever the schedule. In fact, I might have one I've just released. So some of you might know I do some writing adventures myself on Drive-Thru-RPG, and I just released The Island of Dagon. It's a part of my Dread Quest series, which are adventures inspired by not short stories from the 1800s, early 1900s, mostly Lovecraft and Ambrose Bierce. And The Island Dagon takes place in modern day, and it is a sequel to The Shadow over Innsmouth. If anyone is, so maybe I'll do that as a one shot. So we'll try and fit that into the schedule. Anyway, it's available on Drive-Thru-RPG, and it's a pay what you want product, so you can go over and download it for free if you like. So that's it for me. Thank you again. Thanks for the purchasers of the pink backpack items. Again, they threw some curveballs into the game, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks. Have a good night. Stay safe.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.